Today we saw two attacks, and we know one of them was a man who yelled Allahu Akbar. The other attack on a synagogue, it is suspected to be Islamic terror. So the rumors going around are that we had two Islamic terror attacks, possibly retaliation over the war in Iran, which we had seen another terror attack in New York City, the throwing of an improvised explosive device, as well as the attack in Austin. So, of course, the expectation is, well, we don't have the complete information on the synagogue attack. It was a vehicle reportedly owned by a man from Lebanon who was naturalized and lived in Dearborn, Michigan. So many people are saying, hey, that, you know, if it looks and sounds like a duck. With that happening, we also have the backdrop of a warning from Joe Rogan, UFC commentator, who said that it seems strange. They're going to do this big White House UFC event, for which we now got the fight card in June, with a war going on, because you're going to bring everyone together and create this very, let's just call it centralized location of top military brass, political personalities, and otherwise. And, well, I agree. Not necessarily that it's weird or, strange or anything, but that it is dangerous. I mean, it's a real target. So we're going to talk about that. Plus, of course, we have these terror attacks that happened earlier today. We'll go through the details on that one. And then, of course, the UK is officially over. They have ended their hereditary House of Lords, and they are removing their civic leaders from their currency to be replaced by the noble hedgehog and perhaps a beaver and other nature scenes, because the British tradition is basically gone. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more, my friends. Before we do, get a great sponsor for you. It is Beam Dream. Head over to shopbeam.com/Timpool and pick up your nighttime sleep blend to support better sleep. I love this stuff. I drink it every single night. It's got melatonin, magnesium, L-theanine. It's got reishi. It is a delicious cup of hot cocoa that you pour into a little bit of hot water. You drink it before bed, and it's absolutely delicious. No added sugars, only 15 calories. And since I started drinking it, my sleep score has improved, meaning I got sleep trackers on my watch in my bed. My score went up like 4 or 5 points on average. I'm sleeping way better. I think it's the magnesium and the hydration, to be completely honest. But I recommend it. They got a bunch of flavors. It's very delicious. And when you use that code, you can get up to 40% off. Use code TIMPOOL at shopbeam.com/Timpool. Shout out to Beam Dream for sponsoring the show. I'm a huge fan. I love it. I really do recommend it. And don't forget that time James O'Keefe came on the show, and in the middle of the ad, he was like, wait, I drink that. I have that. Helps me sleep. And I was like, look at this. Beam Dream got a freebie from James O'Keefe. Also, go to timcast.com. Join our Discord community, because it is all of you that make this possible. We can't do the show without you. And as a member, you will be hanging out with tens of thousands of people. There's pre-shows, after shows, morning shows, late night shows. People are collaborating on new projects. They're meeting together. And if you're trying to make friends, if you're trying to find like-minded individuals to share ideas with, to learn from, and to teach, join the Discord at timcast.com. Support the work we do. Don't forget to also smash that like button and share this show right now. If you're just tuning in, share it with everyone you know. That really does help. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more is the great Alex Jones.
Oh, boy.
The great. Who are you? What do you do?
I was thinking about Joe Rogan's vagina right now.
That's a weird way to introduce yourself, Alex.
Well, Joe's like, I love Joe, but like, oh my God, we better not have an event. The terrorists might get us. We just give up and go away. We can't ever have a meeting because the Iranians might stick their ding-dong in us. I think Joe's afraid of the Iranian ding-dong.
You're a Joe Rogan commentator, professional?
No, I like Joe. I mean, a little bit, here. I'm surprised by Joe saying that. Like, oh, let's not have a UFC event.
Well, I don't
the
think
Iranians
he said
might get us. I mean, I'm against the war, let's be clear, but let's keep the buses and the trains and the airplanes on time. Let's not the fucking Iranians might get us. So
he's already swearing.
I'm already swearing. Gotta follow every little AI rule. No, here's the deal. Let's all just hide Joe Rogan's vagina, and then we'll all be safe.
Jesus. Good to have you, Alex.
Like
it's
a
going to be fun. We can already
giant
tell.
Joe Rogan vagina.
Luke is sitting
and
next to him.
We all just fly up into it, and we're all safe.
Safe in Joe.
Thanks for coming, Luke.
What an introduction!
You
How do
heard
I top
dancing
that?
like safe under her black wings. I'm safe in Joe Rogan's big ass pussy vagina.
Well, there you go.
Like that? Yep.
Luke's here.
There's that. Yes, I don't know how
Thought
you
you'd have that tonight.
Good to be here with some old
I
friends.
declare war on Joe Rogan. God has ordered me. Nah, I love Joe. It's a joke.
He's going to show up at your house.
Okay, I guess
Alex,
Luke's here.
Yeah, hi guys.
In fact, how about I just take you all on right now? You guys are fucking tough. You're pretty tough. How about we just fucking fight right now? You're fucking real men. All of you. Come on, let's go. Every one of you. Let's go. Let's prove how fucking badass you are. Slug, let's go. You think you can fucking take me? Let's see what happens.
I don't think I can take you.
No, you can. Why don't you fucking do it right now? Every fucking man in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 8. Let's go.
Robbie will fight you.
I'm ready.
Robbie.
I'm ready. That's a big motherfucker over there. I'm ready for war. I'm ready for war. I'm ready to live in Joe Rogan's vagina.
Let's start with the news.
Hey,
I guess.
hey, I just gave you the most viral clip of the year to joke.
You're trying to.
It's comedy. I love Joe.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
I suck his pussy every night.
It's just that. It's
Lindsey
just that
Graham, when he puts
we
that
try,
foot long
we try to be
dick
family
right in Trump's
friendly.
ass, that
We
big
try to-
old neocon,
Not tonight.
I
Not
just sit there
tonight.
and lube it up.
Just gonna get us- get the show taken down.
I'm like the engineer. I'm like,
Get the show taken
Lindsey,
down.
Oh, Lindsey. And I watch like Rubio gets in, and then in comes Huckabee with his 12-foot. And they just boom, boom. I'm just sitting there like,
Huckabee's
take care of
that hung, huh?
that's what I do. Oh, God, Huckabee's got an 18-foot dick. And I just lube up those cocks, those neocon cocks, and then y'all comes in with that 80-footer.
I
And he
imagine-
just skewers Trump.
I imagine Huckabee's watching, being like, "I'm kind of offended, but that is a compliment." Let's go to the
Huckabee has
news.
the largest penis on Earth.
Let's
You
start the
didn't know-
news.
you didn't know
All right,
it's
here's the
certified?
story. Here's the story from the Daily Mail. Joe Rogan fears White House will be targeted by Iran during UFC event. We have a short clip for you. It's only 40 seconds, but we'll play it to give you the context of what Joe was talking about.
Are you excited for the White House card? That looks really good.
Yes. I'm excited. It sounds crazy. I know it's going to be very high security and high stress and weird to have a fight
He's thinking about
at the White House in the middle of a fucking war. But I would hope the war will be sorted out by June, but quite honestly, I'm not confident that that's going to be the case.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so that would be weird.
Yeah.
Having this very high profile event where everybody's in one place at one time right there.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
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 So you're not excited to be
Well,
there?
that seems like
Yeah.
seems like you're asking for.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I hadn't
Yeah.
thought of that at all.
How could you not think of that?
Well, because
Literally
I'm
at
not
the
going to
White
be
House.
there. You're the one that has to think of it. I was,
Because Joe Rogan is the goddess. His holy vagina realizes it's a threat.
I am not really concerned about the White House itself. You know, of all the places we secure in this country, Iran's not going to do anything at the White
Yeah,
House.
no, I love Joe, but I mean that is a major pussy statement.
He didn't say don't do it. He just said that it's going to be a target, and sure, it's just. Look, if Iran was going to
No, the real target is the neocons in Trump's butthole.
no.
Well, they're like that's the main target. Is like
Well, I mean,
Trump is a target.
Iran would
actually.
much prefer to get rid of the neocons that are pressuring Trump to engage in war. For
you know
sure.
about Pastor Manning, the fiery butthole, right?
The what?
Burn, 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 burn.
I no.
Yep, pull up Pastor Manning. It's a prophecy of Trump.
What's his name?
The
Ezra
prophecy of
Manning?
Trump.
I just had to have some fun. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's all humor. I love Joe Rogan. I love President Trump. My bottom line is this. You said start the show right before we went live with, I love Rogan. Oh my God, this event, maybe we shouldn't have it. What the fuck are we talking about? If we're going to blow the shit out of the fucking mullahs, let's not worry about what they're going to do. Let's not cancel our boxing match. So
I agree.
But I mean, I get he's just being honest here. I'm in Joe. I love Joe. All I'm saying is that I was against this war 12 days ago, and I said it's going to go wrong. They're going to block us straight our moves. But I said once we're in it, because the mullahs are crazy or double down. Now they've done it. Now we stuck our wiener in the electric socket. So now we are committed, baby.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned.
And there's now
Did you-
multiple reports of 2 ceasefires that Donald Trump tried to do with the Iranians, and the Iranians are saying, nope, we're not doing any of that.
Well, because the strategy, the Iranian strategy is that Trump is politically vulnerable in a midterm year.
Yeah.
They said they're autocratic. They can do whatever they want, and they can just wait. And so the reported strategy is they'll take as much collateral damage as they have to because Trump is losing political points at home among moderates.
Because they're crazy Shiites, exactly.
Yeah, right.
And so now they're in the drop, even though they're losing, being blown up politically and physically, they don't care because they're willing to die. Like, I'm not comparing to Colonel Travis because they were the good guys, but they're willing to die, so they were the winners. Everybody loves the people that get sacrificed. So Iran is crazy, willing to do it. So what do we do now when they close the strait, which is done? And then what do we do when they keep doubling down and say, fine, hit me again?
Yeah, they're religiously, fundamentally fighting for life and death. They understand, hey, we have to survive.
Their whole thing is about this coming.
Exactly. And then the new Ayatollah is even talking about the prophecies of Armageddon, and we have other Israeli top politicians, even Pete Hegseth talking about the Third Temple when he was in Israel. So all of these kind of like religious prophecies and zealots coming out and saying, bring it on.
Huckabee, the Israeli ambassador to the U.S., saying, yeah, Israel takes it all.
Huckabee is
takes all of what?
All the Middle East?
Yeah.
Well, Bibi just said
he's a U.S. ambassador. I call him the Israeli ambassador.
Yeah. Do you know Abe Lincoln was dealing with this? He had a midterm coming up, or he had an election coming up with the anti-war Democrats were going to get into power and end the Civil War in a stalemate. So he was like, we have to do something drastic because we may lose our power. He issued Sherman to just burn everything and kill as many people as possible to end the war as fast as possible. So worst case scenario, you see hell on earth be unleashed on the Iranian people before the midterms. I don't want to see it, but I mean,
Trump said that. He said, I may destroy your whole country. They're like, I thought we're trying, half of them don't want to be with this. It's a disaster. That's why the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, look, I'm not a rocket scientist, but Eric Prince, a Major Hawk, said don't do it. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Kane, said don't do it because it's a roll the dice. You don't roll dice on stuff. You roll dice on your own money. You don't do it on stuff like this.
Well, you heard what Rubio said about why we got involved. Israel was going to make an attack on Iran. We knew that there would be a retaliation targeting the United States. So Rubio says we don't want to take a defensive posture, so we decided to go in with them. And
which they had testimony in Congress 2 days ago confirming that.
Yeah.
So Israel made us do this. I don't. You know me. I'm not the guy with a hard on for Israel, but Israel should not be calling our shots.
Agreed. And I think Trump should have been like, good luck.
Yeah, because if they'd responded and attacked us, then we could have been like, hey, we have no choice now.
Exactly.
But this makes us look like an aggressor.
Exactly. We should have taken the attack, then we'd be the victims. Then blow the shit out of them.
It's not, you know, and there's the challenge, right? Because that's, and you know this better than anybody, but the Project for a New American Century, when they, who was it who said that?
April 2020, we need a Pearl Harbor event to launch a new American empire.
And then there was the quote that I think it might have been Rumsfeld saying, sometimes we need a terror attack to remind people of what we're protecting them from.
He said we need 3,000 dead.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, which is Pearl Harbor, which they had on 9/11.
Yeah.
And that's the challenge. I mean, if we did nothing and Iran attacked us, then we'd go in. And what Rubio said was then we'd be in hearings talking about how we knew it was going to happen and we didn't do anything to prevent it.
Well, I'll be honest. If there was a magic red button to send the Muslims to Mars, I'd hit it. But every time we do this, they just put the head of Al-Qaeda, before Trump got in charge of Syria. Israel created Hamas. So here's the deal. If we were actually fixing it, I'd be for it. Islam's cancer, but we don't fix it. We put worse Muslims in.
And we finance and we train them and we give them arms and we give them weapons and we give them the training and then it bites us in the butt. And it's like, what did we think was going to happen here? Israel even came out today and they're saying that this regime is unlikely to fall. Obviously, everyone knew this was going to happen. The war games were there too.
They gave the report week before.
Yep.
And I was called a Qatari agent for reading the report that admitted this.
Yeah.
I have got no money from Qatar. I'm waiting for the money right now.
There's also rumors that the son of the Ayatollah is already dead.
Yeah.
I think he's in a coma at least. Because the Israelis have not lied about who they've killed.
But the rumors in Israel is that he's dead.
Well,
and there's just no official
there's
reporting.
one thing Israel tells the truth about is who they killed. They said we killed the Ayatollah a week and a half ago. It was true. And they said well, this guy's in a coma. I believe it.
So it's Israel saying he's in a coma.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right. Well, there was rumors last week. We had talked about it that he got wounded. He's fine. Then they said they amputated his leg. He didn't show up for his own coronation ceremony or whatever. Now they're saying he's in a coma. I would not be surprised if in 2 or 3 days they're like, yeah, he's dead. And the reason
I think he probably is dead.
I don't know for sure, but I think they do have good reason strategically.
Well, when they dropped 30,000-pound bombs on you, probably.
Right. But the Iranian government's not going to want to admit that the United States has repeatedly just killed all of its leaders, its new leader, and wiped out their government. That and the people might actually revolt and the chain of command breaks down. So they're going to say, no, he's alive. Here's a statement to keep the confidence going that they exist to try and outlast Trump because Trump's politically vulnerable right now. But I think it'll be concluded in a few weeks if Trump really does escalate bombing campaigns. And that doesn't mean we win. It doesn't mean the government is over. What I'm saying is we may stop striking, they may stop striking, but nothing may be resolved.
No, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, here's the deal. I want an exit strategy here. And I would love to get rid of the middle list. I said when this started 12 days ago, I said, it started, I think it's not going to work. I hope they fail. I hope they fall right now. But it didn't happen. But I'm not a rocket scientist. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs and all the other reports told him it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And my listeners are like, you're a Qatari agent. No, like the Pentagon said, don't do it. Because it's a roll of the dice. It didn't work.
What's up with all this, like, the Israel stuff?
That's retarded. I've never been to Israel, nothing to do with Israel. Anytime I'm like, people are like, it rained today, Israel did it. I'm like, well, no, it's just, it's like.
You know, the reason I ask you is because you've got more experience in the independent media space, particularly when it comes to government conspiracy, psychological operations, and all that. And, you know, you've been here longer than anybody else. And then all of a sudden, over the past 6 months, there's been this dramatic shift online where now everyone's just talking about Israel doing everything all the time. Like all the conspiracy stuff that you've talked about when it comes to liberal economic order, you know, Project for a New American Century, all that is just gone now. No one cares. None of it exists. It's just Israel did it.
It's because Qatar doesn't lie about it. They spend like $20 million a year on this. And so it doesn't mean that stuff about Israel isn't true. They have changed the whole subject into that instead of China and the EU trying to censor Americans. So I like, hey, the EU's trying to arrest Elon Musk with huge fines. Or Brazil, shut up Israel. So it's kind of like a public woke up like a baby duck kind of imprints on the first thing it sees. So the public woke up, and so the Muslim Brotherhood, which Qatar funds, said, oh, the first thing you see is Israel, which Israel deserves in many ways, but it's also retarded because now the baby duck woke up and all it sees is Israel.
Yeah.
And so it's retarded.
Yeah, you know, the conversation I often have about it is that, like, certainly criticize Israel for their machinations and whatever they're trying to do, but there's a whole bunch of other foreign policy and special interests around the world that the U.S. is involved in that has nothing to do with the Middle East.
Well, exactly. I'll cover China running like half the Democrats with proof, and half the comments are, why you covering up for Israel? It's like they don't. I cover like, oh, literally like there were fires and floods in Texas a few months ago, and half the comments were, why you covering for Israel? There's like can't cover a flood, can't cover a fire, can't cover. It's just Israel, Israel, because it's all they know, and they think that's the secret thing. That's the special little treat.
I think social media is doing it on purpose. And the reason people think this is because it's being blasted into their feeds 24/7, which triggers other people to blast.
No, I agree. The system wants this clash. That's what I explained. Like,
well, they want to divide and conquer people. They want people fighting each other based on superficial differences. The first thing I kind of think about here is Cass Sunstein, Obama's information czar. He literally wrote the white paper on disinformation, and he talked about how he needed to hijack legitimate criticism by making it seem crazy. He literally wrote the book. He was also connected to Epstein, too.
He said we'll discredit it.
He'll discredit it by putting out fake actors out there that will make theories that sound really crazy, so you destroy any kind of legitimate criticism or question.
And then Nick Fuentes, who's critical of Israel, is banned from YouTube, and Candace Owens is put up on the front page.
Yeah. Well, but here's my deal. People ask why I attack Candace Owens. She says ice melts at 30 degrees, and she says I'm a time traveler. I mean, it's just like
Charlie was a time traveler.
Yeah, he was a time traveler. Exactly. I'm just like, I'm not even saying I trust TPUSA. I'm not saying they're going to cover up of Charlie Kirk, but I cannot buy Mitch Snow with a hammer, convicted of beating his wife with a hammer, and then he puts a story out, she attacked me with a hammer, and Candace goes with it and raises him $200,000. And I'm just like, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's just crazy.
Let's jump to this story. We got this video that's going viral from Mario Nawfal. He says, Netanyahu, quote, "We will make it to the return of the Messiah, but this will not happen next Thursday." And so this video has been making the rounds, of course, since it got 400,000 views. And there was an article written a few days ago, Israel is gripped by Messianic fervor for a biblical war. Now, there's another video that's massively going viral where everyone's saying that he said return of the Messiah, as if to imply he believes in Jesus Christ. When you actually...
No, he's Jewish Messiah.
No, it says return. The Jews believe the Messiah has not come. So if Netanyahu says the return of the Messiah, that means he thinks the Messiah has already been here.
Did he say that?
So here's what I've found in the transcript. When you ask for a translation through Grok or whatever, it says in Hebrew in what he is speaking, it can be paraphrased either way, as in the era of the Messiah or the return of.
Well, David was the Messiah, so he returns under the Jewish law.
They do believe that David was a Messiah?
He was the art. He was the art. Yeah, he was the precursor.
I thought they haven't had their Messiah yet.
No, but it's all. David was the Messiah. He returns.
Well, either way, that is a component of why people have been sharing this clip quite a bit. But this plays into one of the theories. It's kind of interesting. This video is coming out now. There are a lot of people that are suggesting.
No, I haven't seen this yet.
Oh no,
I'm
I mean,
saying if you actually study the Old Testament, everything's a precursor. So
yeah.
David is the precursor to the Messiah.
Yeah, it says that the Messiah will come from David's family line.
Yeah.
Well, so then again, my understanding is that return
so when he says
of
return,
is just
he means
translation.
the return of David.
So indeed, what's
By the way,
interesting
it should
about
be
this
called the
is
star. Anyway, sorry.
the reason why this is picking up steam is that one of the theories amongst those who believe Israel runs everything is that they're trying to make everyone hate them because they have to go to war with the world in order to trigger the return of their Messiah. So if there really is this, as this article said, Messianic fervor, and then you get Netanyahu literally saying we will make it to the return of the Messiah, but not by next Thursday, a lot of people are jumping on this and saying, straight from the man's mouth, they are doing
I think that it's not all the Jews, but certainly there's different Jewish interests that get when they're attacked, they get more power. Netanyahu has been indicted. Netanyahu would be in jail right now. And so
why isn't he?
By him being under attack, he stays in power. So I'm not going to judge him on, his weird Supreme Court battles. It's all so confusing. See, I just say I knew the answers. It's so confusing. I don't know. But definitely they are invoking this messianic stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think he's like creating war to stay in power? I mean, I'm not saying you're saying this, but that he would be creating war to stay in power.
No, he said like 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, when they did October 7th, he said, we'll look at why there was a stand down later once the war's over, but the war never ends.
Yeah, wars are meant to be continued, and there's a lot of soldiers that are literally talking about this being a holy war for them, so they could bring in the Third Temple. Albert Pike talked about a lot of this stuff. 1871, he wrote a letter about World War III, and it's absolutely crazy.
1871, he wrote about World War III.
Yes.
What? So he knew they were going to be the first two. He didn't tell anybody about it.
No, he talked about World War I. He talked about World War II, and then he talked about World War III, and he talked about the Jews fighting the Muslims in this world that will bring in the demon. Will bring in the kind of demonic order. So this is. I mean, I've been talking about this for about 12 years. I did a video with David Icke about this.
I'm sorry, real quick, just don't forget what you're going to say. Albert Pike's statue was torn down by anti-racism protesters in the George Floyd riots.
Of course, not a surprise there at all. But a lot of people believe that this is prophecy being kind of that we're kind of living through this as it's being played out right in front of our eyes.
Is the demon the AI technocratic overstate?
Who knows?
Well, you were advocating for it yesterday, Ian.
And that's my point, is that
AI judges?
I literally don't hate Jews. Like, I don't sit there with a big heart on and like I fall on a banana peel blaming Jews. But now Israel is literally every step you can to make it all about Israel, which is not. It's China and the EU and all these powers, and it's just like constantly, oh, we're here. No, we're the. It's like I'm smart enough to go like, what's going on here? Like
every country has their own interests, and people that think that everything is about Israel they're totally overlooking the fact that every country has their own interests. They have their own agency, and they have their own plans. There are times where like the U.S. interests and Israel's overlap, but it doesn't mean that Israel's in control of everything.
But to that point, I agree. I understand what you're saying, Alex, that they are trying to take the spotlight in all of these affairs.
Exactly. Israel wants the attack because then there are people who get behind them. So it's not like Israel's involved in all the bad stuff, but they're like, okay, we'll be the villain. It's just like I'm just like.
I actually think if you take a look at the latest media moves over the past several months, like the purchase of CBS and TikTok, there is a what did you used to call it, Alex? Problem, reaction, solution. So
Larry Ellison buying it up.
Whether it's intentional or otherwise, you have this burst of anti-Israel and, quite honestly, a lot of anti-Semitic content. Then this triggers prominent, wealthy millionaires and billionaires, Jewish and otherwise, to buy up these platforms to ban that content. So, in essence, by having this large burst of anti-Semitic or anti-Israel content, you then create the circumstances by which you can get powerful interests to shut those things down completely.
100%. You just said it. And I don't know what the end game is. I'm just like, I'm against Israel trying to start a nuclear war, but I'm also not against Israel. I'm just like, man, I'm done. Like, this is above my
I'm fairly
pay grade.
ambivalent. Foreign affairs is foreign affairs to me. It's crazy to me that there are people hyper for and against. No, I understand why people would be for it, especially if you're Jewish and you're Israeli. But the fact that there are so many people in the United States who are for and against it who are neither, that's strange to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, we can talk about China
But you
all
now
day.
see how Iran, because they're willing to kill their own people. 2 days ago, I said Iran is belligerent. They're emboldened. I was like, oh, you're a Qatari agent. I ain't got the check yet. My point was they don't care. They're willing to die. So I'm saying, like, what do you do when you're faced with this?
Yeah.
Like, this is cuckoo town. Like,
Well, yeah, I have a question for you because again, I think you would know this better than most people, but we've talked about the U.S. motivations for going against Iran, and it largely has to do with the Strait of Hormuz, the 20% of oil and gas flowing through from the Gulf states, and the U.S. maintaining its economy on the petrodollar. So my position, my view of this is the U.S. looks at Iran as a disruptor of international oil trade, for which we tell our customers, you use dollars to buy oil, we'll police the seas. Iran tells us to shove off, funds militias, Houthi rebels, they bomb cargo ships. So the U.S. says this has to stop. I'm curious if you agree or how do you see it?
no,
Like,
that's it. I mean, that's it. And my point is, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs told Trump, they've got a whole army right there. Even if we blow them up, they can block the strait. And that's 25% of the oil. So it creates a crisis. And Trump's like, well, we'll fix it in a year. Yeah, a year. Trump's whole plan to fix inflation is based on cheap energy. So this messes him up. So he's not thinking. That's why he's suddenly like, oh, God, end the war. Oh, God, yeah. Which I agree with. Like, yeah, dude, this ain't like just blow some stuff up. So again, I actually wish the Muslims would all go away. I want Israel to be free. I'm not even. My sick thing is, I get nothing by being nice to Israel. I'm not. I've never been to Israel. I'm not in Israel's team. But I don't want to blow up the Jews. I don't want to blow up Israel. I'm just like, stop using us in these wars to expand your power. And then Israel's like, oh, Greater Israel. I saw these clips like, we're gonna take over the whole Middle East. And I'm just like, with us paying for it. So I'm like, you're making me come out against you. Stop it. That's where I'm at with Israel. It's like, stop. It's crazy.
well, the problem is if we want to maintain the petrodollar, which puffs up our economy, we have to force everybody in line, and this is why you get these regime change wars. It's why.
I agree, but we already have that all in line. Israel.
Well, not with Iran.
Has already defeated all its enemies. Like when they were attacking the last few years, I'm like, great. Israel defeated, the Lebanon, the Hamas, in Gaza. Great. That just adds to megalomania. So, see, they've already beat all their enemies. Do you see the Israeli former prime minister said, well, when we're done with Iran, Turkey's next. Turkey has the biggest military in Europe. Israel's now saying, we're ready, Turkey.
Turkey's also a member of NATO, which, I mean, I personally, I'm not a fan of Turkey being in NATO, but, like, if Israel
I'm not a fan of
attacks...
Turkey either, but, like, now Israel wants us to...
I'm actually a big fan of
That ain't
Turkey.
happening.
They got great baklava. They got these things called Islak burgers. They're lamb burgers that you dip in like an oily tomato sauce.
never forgive
the
them for
Turkish
giving it.
government we can complain about all
Well,
day.
what
never
Alex is
I'll
saying
never
is
forgive him
true.
for giving us
You
our
saw this on
Piker.
Fox News, and you saw Rupert Murdoch actually through all the kind of news organizations push. We have to go to Turkey. Turkey's a threat. Turkey's not agreeing. Turkey's
Well,
not playing ball.
the Bosphorus is extremely important.
Yeah, so they already have a new enemy. It's like...
Exactly.
The U.S.
it's
has to get out of NATO
It's
for
like,
that, though.
now we're going to fight the biggest army in Europe.
But guys, think of all the Turkish delight we'd get.
Like I said,
No, we wouldn't. We would bomb the crap out of them. And there'd be no delights for anybody. It would be nothing.
they're the biggest army in Europe.
Yeah, and then Pakistan also is another
why
threat.
is Israel, their former prime minister, they're on TV, Turkey, you're next. It's like, because he's like, fine, Israel, I'm not against Israel. But if you want to kill yourself, go fight this dude. But it's like Mike Tyson. I'm like an 80-pound dude. Like, Mike Tyson, I'm going to kick your ass. Turkey has this giant military, and Israel knows we're going to back them.
No way,
dude.
no way not.
Not against a NATO member.
Yeah, it's not.
You saw Israel's teeing Turkey up.
Hey, for
They might be,
sure.
but-
But that they're going to find the line.
Yeah.
Well, Bibi just announced today that Israel isn't just going to be a regional power, but a global superpower. When you're a global superpower, as Bibi announced, you're going to have to.
All their newspapers say, we control the U.S. They say it. So now we run the world like cuckoo town. If you actually ran things, shut up.
If they're
I agree.
if they're talking about Turkey, that means next after Turkey, they're going to talk about taking over Spain and taking over Morocco so that they can control Gibraltar for that western seaport.
Exactly.
I personally don't think that any of that is going to happen. Because
No, but
don't
I mean,
think-
that's what I'm
because of
saying. It's
NATO.
cuckoo.
So, yeah, it is crazy. It is
It's
crazy.
cuckoo.
Yeah, it is.
Let's jump to the story and bring it back domestically. We've got this from the Post Millennial. Old Dominion shooter Mohammed Jallo shouted Allahu Akbar as he opened fire, says the FBI. FBI has confirmed he shouted the phrase right before firing his gun. So for those that haven't
And by the way, he was convicted in 2016 of being an ISIS operative.
Yeah.
Why the hell was this guy not in a Supermax?
I like how you said hell.
I'm trying to be nice. Like, I mean, come on, baby.
It was good.
They say the dead Old Dominion shooter Mohammed Jallo shouted Allahu Akbar right before he opened fire on students. This was at Old Dominion University in Virginia, I believe, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
They say that FBI authorities also called the shooting an act of terrorism. And this isn't the only one. We also have that synagogue story, which we'll get to in a
Which is
minute.
another Muslim.
So that
My
one,
point is, how he was convicted.
well, so here's the question. You are right. How is this happening? Is the U.S. government letting it happen?
100%.
Yeah, I mean, even
Why?
the
They
Trump.
put the head of Al Qaeda in Syria.
Well,
Yeah, we replaced Al Qaeda with Al Qaeda.
We replaced Al Qaeda with Al Qaeda.
I mean, how much money did we spend on that? And
this
plus,
was-
the
this was-
Trump assassin, by the way, the FBI shipped him into the United States.
This
Not a lot of people
particular-
know this, and he
this
was from
particular-
Pakistan.
Wait, which one? Which one?
The one that they recently
Iranian
caught
one.
recently. He's really Pakistani. He had an Iranian wife, but the
Yeah,
FBI literally
the guy
brought him in
they
the
said that
country.
was going to kill Trump.
Yeah.
Both plots were CIA hired lunatics.
Yeah, but this guy in particular, this guy that shot, that committed the attack at the Dominion, at Old Dominion, he was a product of a failed Justice Department. They should have put him in jail forever. It wasn't like the U.S.
Yeah, he was convicted of an ISIS operative.
And that was he should have been in a Virginia prison for the rest of his life.
Or
But
just not in this country?
fair enough. But I do want to
He was
point.
convicted
Hold
as
on.
an ISIS operative.
Yeah, hold on. I want to point out an ROTC guy stabbed him. And took the guy that the guy that killed, he got killed by a dude
Well,
with
he
a
attacked an
knife in the
ROTC, and you got some badasses
that
there.
kid that
So
kid
American
needs
badass killed himself.
that kid needs a valor commendation.
I agree. We want him on the show.
Absolutely.
America, talk about Team America.
Hell yeah.
But the CIA has a history of bringing these guys in. Look at the 9/11 hijackers. They were denied visas into America, and then Michael Springmeier at the Jeddah consulate literally came out and said, "I was forced to allow these guys into America because
Under
the CIA
Brennan's
got
orders.
involved."
Under Brennan.
Yeah.
I interviewed Springman.
Yeah.
Brennan ordered him to let all the hijackers in.
Fine, but there's no evidence that this guy was actually brought in by the CIA. And with 4 years of an open border and with the policies that
There's
the
no
left has
doubt,
been,
there's no doubt.
he could have gotten. Actually, no, he was here in 2016. So this probably was during
He
President
was
Obama.
convicted
Yeah,
of being
he
an
was
ISIS operative.
Yeah, so this was
How
during.
the fuck is, excuse me.
This falls on
How is an
Obama's
ISIS
shoulders.
operative still running around?
He should have been in jail forever.
If you're convicted
you
of being
think it's-
ISIS, your balls get cut off.
Do you think this is an inside job?
No, I think these liberal judges, I mean, here in Austin, it's all run by Soros. The other guy like shoots 5 people, they let him
him
loose
go.
the next day.
Yeah.
Like,
There was a video that's been going viral where a guy was drunk driving and he crashed into a vehicle, killing this man's daughter and grandparents. This was in the UK, I think, and the female judge got him off on like community service or something. So the dude threw a chair at her, I guess. I think this is as Helen. I think what's her name? Helen Andrews. Is that the woman? Talks about the feminization of our institutions. You're getting Soros is propping a lot of these individuals up, so it's ideological as well. But
yeah, no, it's Stockholm syndrome. Oh, you raped me, I turned you loose.
they're releasing all of these criminals, and I think you make a good point because this is something that people have warned about for the past several years. This is what's going to happen when you keep releasing criminals. You get an ISIS guy and they say, give him a second chance. So what does he do? He goes and shoots a bunch of people.
What's that? I saw a video today where a 16-year-old's driving reckless on a moped in traffic, 80 miles an hour, and the cops arrest him. And I see 50 videos where they pull over an illegal alien, does not turn the lights on their 18-wheeler. And they go, you can go, you're an illegal alien. It's like, what the hell is this?
Do you hear about the guy? I think he got 10 years for cheating in a fishing contest.
Yeah.
You heard the story? He was putting weights in his fish, so they convicted him. It's like fraud, 10 years or something like that. I don't know what the actual charges were, but
Yeah, our system is great. Then if you have a crooked toenail, you go to prison. I'm like, hey,
Well,
I want molesters, I want bank robbers, I want child molesters dead. Once you've done with them, then you can worry about
But you
Somebody
pointed-
cheating on a bass fishing
Here,
contest.
here you go. Here. Texas fishing cheating scandal: why a man could face 10 years for allegedly tampering with bass. Maybe it's worse than any of us realize, but it's a terrible headline when you have an ISIS guy get released and then go commit a terror attack, and a guy who was
The
cheating
ISIS guy
fishing.
goes kills people, and you're worried about a bass. Exactly.
man.
I'm like, what is this, Luke?
It's insanity.
Oh, it was in Texas too.
It's probably intentional. I bet this whole like, oh, Arabs hate Jews isn't as big of a deal as people. They're just making it seem like they got every Jew around every. They're probably like, bro, all we want is stability, and America is like, no, what we want is the world. So
My favorite
No,
thing
you're
is
right.
when
The
you're,
Muslims invented modern mathematics. Before the Muslims, the West, 100 years ago, British intelligence funded out the Muslims. They were like, it was a Riviera, man. The Muslims went rock and roll and champagne, baby.
There was a really funny post where some liberal guy said that Zoran Mamdani has started teaching children Arabic numerals in schools, and then a bunch of conservatives got really angry, saying like, "This is disgusting. I can't believe it's come to this. Why are they doing this?" Because they don't know that Arabic numerals are literally the numbers that we use. They're just literally numbers. Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
it's just people looking for rage bait with that when it comes
Yep.
to that kind of stuff.
No, man, let me tell you. The Middle East had high IQ, so the inbreeding.
Yeah.
We're not being mean about it. Like, now they're like, it's
Yeah,
dangerous.
they a lot of cousin marriage and stuff.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Arranged marriages and stuff. Yeah.
I first heard this from the Joe Rogan podcast. He was talking with Gavin McInnes about it, and Gavin was talking about how there's
And that got banned.
They deleted
that episode.
it.
Yeah. But I looked it up. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing about that era in the 2010s is that information that was readily available on government websites would get you banned off social media. Like, I can't remember who posted FBI crime stats. You post FBI crime stats. Tommy Robinson did it. Twitter banned him. They like
Well,
gave him a
that's the
strike.
thing. Is Trump isn't perfect, and I bitch about him all day. But we should bitch about Democrats way more because we have to remember where we were. About what are they going to do when they get back in power?
Oh, well, Luke made a really good point about what's going on. Do you want to make that point about the trap?
Yeah, no, I believe the little bit of free speech that we have is essentially the cheese on the rat trap that all of us are now engaging in, and it's going to close behind us. As of course, a lot of people are using it to its fullest potential, but I see it as a trap. That's what it feels like to me. That's what my instincts feel like because I saw how the internet was all the way in 2006.
Yep.
I saw the trap. I talked about the trap all the way in 2008. I said we're going to lose our free speech. We lost our
No,
free
I agree.
speech.
That's
we
the
got
new
censored.
debate.
Yep.
We are taking Trump for granted with those problems. What is going to happen when the Democrats get back in? We should be talking about, we're free now. Oh, I'm so bad on YouTube. But the point is, imagine when they get back. I'm taking a piss. I'll be back.
Yes.
When they
so,
get back.
So Luke made an interesting point, and the way I described it was, the door's been open and everyone rushes through and all starts clamoring and having a conversation. Then when the Democrats win back power in the midterms, start filing investigations and subpoenas, start putting pressure on these big tech companies, the big tech companies are going to say, close the doors again. Well, guess what? We're all standing outside now.
But what other
so
option do we have?
they're going to cut off the space. And how does that really manifest? They're going to say, guys, we are banning any instance of A, B, C, and D. Then they're going to go to your channel and they're going to say, you have 300 videos that break the rules. You're deleted.
Exactly, and they're going to know exactly who to target. They're going to know exactly who to take out, and they're not going to do it step by step, slowly like they did the first time around. It's just going to be one day, overnight, everything's gone. That's why I'm telling my people to sign up to like my members group, to my email list right now, because one day all of us are just going to lose our speech, and there's
but
nothing that we could do.
They're also probably going to, before that happens, knock on your door and lead you away in cuffs. Then
It
ban
might
you
not
an
even
hour
need
later.
to be that. It might not even need to even go there, because once they deplatform you, right? Once they debank you, like you can't even exist in this kind of society.
Let me ask you guys this question. What would happen if one day tons of prominent anti-war, anti-uniparty individuals, I mean, because this could theoretically be left or right, technically, just didn't wake up? Let's say like 73 high-profile personalities with millions of followers that talk politics, populist level stuff. So even some lefties, some conservatives, some moderates, just they did not wake up. And then something happens where they're like, it looks like there was a mass poisoning, like someone targeted the meals of these individuals in the days prior and killed them, and then they died.
Normies would go about their day.
Normies would go about their day. It would be considered a major scandal that, because it affected left and right, no one would know anything. Like, there would be nothing about it. They'd be like, wow, this is the craziest serial killing spree we've ever seen, and we have no evidence. And I got to be honest, normies would go about their day, and within 3 or 4 weeks, it would be a thing that happened that sometimes get brought up. Because, I mean, let's do this. Let's talk about 9/11. Not in depth, but just bringing up 3,000 people lose their lives that day. And there were years of questions about investigations, about weird things that weren't answered for, like why did they get rid of all of the metal? They shipped it off. Thermite potentially being found, or at least molten steel. Now, I'm not asserting anything about what did or didn't happen, but my point is, whatever happened after a couple of years, everyone said that's now the past. So my point is not that it will happen. It's more of a thought exercise of if overnight, look, let's be real. If a roving band of Antifa went and just massacred a bunch of conservative personalities, yeah, you'd have a real problem. But if 70 high-profile individuals who do this kind of news and challenge the media all got poisoned within a day or two of each other, it would be major news. People would be freaking out. There would be some hearings, and then 6-7 months later, people would be talking about something else again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, your theory is not wrong. Look what's happening in the United Kingdom. Look what's happening when people...
It's over. Bro, the UK is over.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe this. We got to invade.
Yeah, Germany. Yeah, Canada, too. If we're going to liberate some people, the people of Canada need to be liberated extensively.
When you mention what's going on in the UK and what's going on in Germany and stuff, like in Germany and France, the government is actually outlawing the parties that are pushing back. They're outlawing the FD. They're outlawing, like, Le Pen.
They're outlawing ideas and thoughts.
Let me pull this story up. We've got this from the AP. This is massive news, ladies and gentlemen. The United Kingdom, it's done. There's two big stories. First, Britain is ejecting hereditary nobles from Parliament after 700 years. This is the historic 700-year system. Now, by all means, I do think there's reason to criticize a system where you inherit basically a Senate seat. It's basically how it works. You got the House of Lords, and you got the House of the Commons, or House of Commons. And the Commons is like your congressional reps, and the Lords is like your senators. And I actually completely disagree with this. I actually think the U.S. should repeal the 17th Amendment and bring our senators back to appointments by state-level politicians. This is a little bit different because you inherit your political seat, which is kind of weird if you think about it. That being said, whatever your view is on it, this is a long-standing 700-year tradition that ties the modern political infrastructure of Britain to its history, and they are getting rid of it. On top of that, they are getting rid of Winston Churchill on their banknotes, among other English leaders, and replacing them with hedgehogs and beavers. I am not kidding.
Perfect.
This is the end of the UK. There's no other way to explain it. You're not allowed to speak anymore. I mean, it's been that way for a while. There's certain groups that seemingly have carte blanche to do whatever they want, migrant groups. There's a polio outbreak happening now. They're getting rid of their ties to their own traditions and history, their political system. That's it. I mean, what's next?
And the UK isn't like they're not not economically strong enough to just be an economic zone, right? Like, people make the argument here, oh, the US is just is more than an economic zone, and I agree with that. But the US can, the economic power of the US does matter. The UK, it doesn't. Their manufacturing base is gone. They don't make anything in the UK to talk about anymore. Like, the only thing the UK has is tradition, and they're totally just destroying that at a record pace.
Well, their local population is just not reproducing, right?
Yeah.
They're bringing in new people, and then they're afraid to even hold the new people that they brought in accountable to the laws of the land. Yeah. There's roaming grooming gangs that just get away because police officers don't want to culturally offend people, as they're doing at least 30 arrests a day for speech in the United Kingdom. The UK is always the blueprint for the kind of prison planet, the kind of enslavement system that they want to roll out. This is what's going to be happening to America if we allow the same type of steps that are happening even now, even under the Trump administration, with the digital ID, with the facial recognition scanners. All of this stuff is setting us up to a very dangerous situation.
I know it's bad, but think of the possibilities like this. Okay,
Pokemon on your money.
It's not a Pokemon.
I know it's
that's Sonic the Hedgehog. Phil.
Yeah. I know,
Phil.
but I'm making a joke about it. But yeah, I know who Sonic is.
Turning the banknotes from the Bank of England into Pokemon cards. Actually, I got to be honest. I don't rightly care for a 10-pound note with a picture of Churchill on it, but I would absolutely get one of these.
I mean, look, if they were like, oh, we're going to take George Washington off the.
Bro, they tore down Thomas Jefferson statues.
I'm fully aware of that, but there was a good amount. There was pushback on that, and I understand that the left was very successful. But this is exactly why I think that it's so important to prevent the left from getting back into power. Like, if they get into power, it's going to be all of the stuff that was happening during the Biden administration, but it's going to be ramped up like so much worse than it was.
I think this is a good thing. This is something that they started in 1999, the reform process of getting the hereditary peers out of office. They left 92 people in, and I think this is because of people like Tommy Robinson. They're moving away from
Why do you think it's
hereditary
good?
monarchy.
Why do you think it's good?
Because I don't think you should be born into power like that. I don't think you should have a title passed down to your son. It should
Why
be
not?
democratic.
Why not?
Because you want the best from your society, not the king's kid necessarily.
Well,
The point is, Joe Rogan's vagina is this giant mothership that protects the earth. The shield against all the Satanism is Joe Rogan's vagina.
Hey, Alex, do you think that it's a good thing that UK is getting rid of hereditary parliament? The House of Lords?
House of Lords.
The fact is, they're getting rid of it to turn it over to the globalists.
Yep.
And Islam, and the mayor of London, all of it. It's totally disgusting.
You see this? They're taking Churchill and other British leaders off their banknotes, replacing them with hedgehogs and badgers.
They've totally captured it. The UK has fallen.
Could you imagine? Because Phil just mentioned this. If they announced they're taking George Washington and Lincoln off our
Well,
bill,
Trump
money?
was right when he said. That's why I love Trump. Like, so bad when he's wrong, because I need him to win. He was like, they're going to take the American flag down. They're going to take Thomas Jefferson down. They were taking down Robert E. Lee, and soon enough they said, "Oh, get rid of Thomas Jefferson." So that's the
They
target.
tore a statue down in a bunch of places.
No,
They tried tearing down Christopher Columbus in Philly, and a bunch of South Philly guys surrounded it and beat the crap out of the Antifa and wouldn't let them do it.
Yeah, this is like the Ministry of Truth in 1984, where they have to get rid of the history in
the-
order to
the
rewrite
argument-
it, in order to propagandize the people.
And the argument that they're making, that they made for the Southern generals and stuff like that, they'll make the same arguments for all of the founders of the U.S.
They
They're
did
just gonna
that.
say,
They've
"Oh,
done that. They've
you
done
know,
that.
yeah, and the left in the U.S. is going to fall in line with them. So we need to have the right be able to stand up to this stuff. And
I think the argument against hereditary rule is propaganda and largely a myth. I think that all leaders have a possibility of going sour or being bad.
Well, the point is, though, they're giving up the hereditary rule to the Islamics and the globalists. So if they gave it back to the British people and we're all pro-Britain, it'd be fine. But it's not. It's about globalist capitulation.
Indeed. So getting rid of the House of Lords is not about having democracy, Ian. It's about saying we need to rip the British people from control of this government. That's what they're doing. So,
Yeah,
and
and
I'll
the
stress
House
this
of
too.
Lords is only a check on the Parliament. So now
and-
the check is being removed.
And so, Ian, you asked the question. We should have the best person, not someone who just inherits it. But what I will say is there are problems with rule by inheritance for sure, and we as a country don't have that. However, you're only looking at the bad elements of it. Many of the
Exactly. We're not. It's like apartheid. I'm not for apartheid. They replace it with communism 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So what are they replacing it with? Is the point.
But also on top of that, there's a history of when the king would find a wife and it wasn't inbreeding and had a son. The son was educated, trained, would be a military leader, and they said you have to be someone who can lead the people and serve. It wasn't like congratulations, you're rich from now on and can do whatever you want. It was largely viewed, especially with the Queen of England. The British people looked at her as someone who dedicated her life to service to them, and many of them, when you actually ask them, they view it as I get to live my life free from the trials and tribulations of foreign war and conflict.
They're
and public
replacing
management.
it with Islamic rule.
Is that proven?
Well, if you
And
take
they're
a look,
literally the Muslims are taking over.
if you take a look, what's going
I
on?
just want to
in
see the evidence of that because that's an interesting.
I mean,
So let me extrapolate. Let me extrapolate.
King Charles has literally endorsed Islam.
And outside of, let's not have a direct claim. Let's put it like this. If you are Muslim in the UK and you say horrifying things, you don't get punished for it. If you are a British and you post
If you
online.
pray quietly from an abortion clinic, 3 years in prison.
Yep. There was a woman who was standing outside an abortion clinic saying nothing and doing nothing. And the police came up and said, "What are you doing?" She said, "Nothing." And they said, "Are you praying?" And she goes, "In my mind, you're under arrest." So when they allow
3 years
people,
in prison.
when they allow Muslims to pray in the street,
The
or to
Muslims
obstruct-
now go around saying no dogs at parks. Now they're passing laws in the UK, no dogs.
yeah.
So that's where you get the perception that Islam is taking over the UK.
But I mean, if the king, so is the king sold out? Because
Yes.
the king can shut this down. The king can actually overrule this parliamentary act.
Yeah,
he has
the king is in with Jimmy Savile. It's beyond Jeffrey Epstein. It's like Jimmy Savile got caught with dungeons, satanic dungeons, murdering kids. He had the highest security clearance. It's all there. They're totally controlled.
And he was the child star that was a necrophiliac as well, connected to the royal family, doing a whole bunch of evil, absurd, occultist type of stuff that you can't even fathom or imagine. We can't mention what he did on this show here. He did way more wilder, crazier stuff, and that's what a lot of the sick elites get off on, doing some of the most evil things possible.
Okay, so we're looking at either a really bad thing or a worse thing.
Well, I mean, I guess, like I'm not really sure as to why the House of Lords is really all that bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, hereditary rule is insane, especially with the
But
internet.
again- but again,
it used to be
you-
good back when nutrition was localized and you only learned from your
But you-
community.
you
Now
keep-
it's like, get the best people.
But the point that I'm making is you're making this assertion that it's bad, but you're not really telling us why
I
it's
just
bad.
told you why. Inbreeding, idiot
No, I
gets in
agree with
control
that.
because his dad had it.
America's about getting rid of that. When you go to the store, it's all royal magazines out there. My point is they're getting rid of that to replace it. Like Keir Starmer was the head judge for the CPS for 15 years, covered up all pedophilia. It's on record. So my point is screw the House of Lords. The point is you're replacing it with a new group of bureaucrats that control all that.
Yeah, Ian, I would put it like this. You know, what was it saying? Democracy is the worst system.
There's a Churchill quote, democracy is the worst form of government except all the others that have been tried.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you look at the fact that you have hereditary rule in the UK, there is one thing you get guaranteed. It's that the people of Britain run their government. Now, you may argue they suck at doing it. They're self-interested, but these people are British. Now you're removing all of that from your politics. And what's going to happen is, as Alex pointed out, they're going to start bringing in non-citizens. You know, a really great point that was brought up recently is that the bill introduced in Virginia to ban guns for all people in Virginia was written by a guy who was born in Bangladesh.
A Muslim.
So he moves here and then says, I'm going to get voted in, and then tell
His
the
name is
American
Saddam.
people, and indeed, I'm going to tell the American people they don't get to have their Second Amendment rights anymore. And to be fair, the governor, a white woman, agrees and is going to sign that bill.
She's CIA.
Virginia's cooked, man.
You think they're going to
Jesus
try
cooked.
because King Richard, or what's his name, King Charles, whatever, so many Charles Richard. Okay, he obviously hereditary rule. The reason he's there is because of hereditary rule. They couldn't pick their leader. So what are they trying to phase that out before Harry gets in or Willie gets in because he's going to democratize the
screw
country?
them. Here's the thing. I'm not defending royalty. The point is they're erasing the House of Lords because it's a check on Parliament giving all authority over to the globalists. Like the EU is unelected. They set it up under a trade agreement in 56, the Treaty of Rome. And so the
Planned
EU's
at the Bilderberg meeting, too.
Bilderberg, you have to explain that.
Yep. No, the Bilderberg meeting is where all the elites go. A lot of the Epstein-connected Rothschilds, Rockefeller, secret societies all kind of coalesce, and they set up global policy where they actually brag about picking the politicians that were going to become the next prime ministers and presidents. They're the ones that even bragged. I think it was, was it yours, Deming, or somebody else, bragged at the Bilderberg meeting saying that it was at this meeting where they created the euro. So,
Yeah, so I'm not defending the old systems. The point is they're sweeping away to bring the new system in.
Yeah, so to put it simply, the House of Lords is the worst system aside from the new system they're going to be bringing in.
I'd love to go into the evidence of it. I don't know if we have it. Do we have it on hand to show
The evidence of what?
that they're bringing in Islam to overthrow the British
No,
way?
you don't understand.
Or whatever it was, the claim.
That's visible to those who are watching what's going on.
Well, this has been in place. Well, you're right. It's been in place since 1999.
Bro, I mean,
but
you
the New
look at-
World Order first got mentioned in the 80s by
There's a
Bush
woman who
Sr.,
got like
90s.
30 years in prison because there was a group of men who like were rioting and burned down a building, and then she made disparaging comments about Islam, and they said you're under arrest, and she got more time than the rioters. Like this kind of stuff is
Islam
happening.
is totally protected.
Let's jump to this story from Reason. Virginia's impending assault firearm ban is logically and constitutionally dubious. I chose this one because the headline I agree with. The ban, which targets guns based on criteria that make little sense, seems vulnerable to a challenge to the Supreme Court's Second Amendment precedents. Now, the big story here is that of all states, Virginia, their license plates being the Gadsden flag, is now basically banning every single gun. And I love this video that went viral. You see the one where the guy said if you have an assault pistol, you can still keep it, but you can't buy a new one. And he's like, it's got a grip and it's kind of big. They don't know what they're talking about, but it doesn't matter. They are tyrants. Now, one thing that's being brought up that is controversial here is the people are pointing out that the bill was introduced by a man who was not born in America. He was born in Bangladesh.
Mr. Saddam.
His name is Saddam. He comes here, runs for office, and then says, okay, now Americans should not be allowed to have guns. In Virginia, it's a right guaranteed by the Constitution. So going back to the point, Ian, when we talk about...
why can't Iran overthrow the mullahs? They're disarmed.
Indeed. Yeah. So we were talking about hereditary rule going away in the UK. I would just put it like this. There's no guarantee that someone inheriting office based on just based on who their parents are is going to protect your rights. But I would argue it is substantially more likely that a Virginian from Virginia who's 6th, 7th generation is going to say, we have a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. And someone who's not from the United States is going to say, I don't care.
Do you think we should ban non-U.S. citizens from running for Senate or Congress at all? Any
sure.
statewide, federally?
Non-citizens?
You mean
Absolutely.
not born. Natural born.
Yeah, not natural
I
born.
believe
There should be
you
a
must...
political, we know not to vote for foreigners.
I believe that you should have to be born here to run for office, period. It's weird to me that to be president, you must be a natural born citizen, but for all other federal offices, like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I don't like it anymore, especially with the ease of transportation. You can be here in 2 hours. It used to take you months to get here, and then you'd have to find your way. And now you just...
You have to understand, the Muslims vote like 95% for the left because they're allied with it, the Red Green Alliance.
Yep.
So that's the point.
Have you guys seen that viral video where the Jewish guy chat roulette's a leftist with pink cat ears?
No.
Now, regardless of your views on Judaism and Israel, the video is still absolutely hilarious because the leftist dude pulls up a happy merchant and then starts insulting the Jewish guy, and the Jewish guy just goes, "How do you think?" He said, "Can we talk? I'll ask you a question." He goes, "Sure." And he goes, "How do you think you'd be received by Hamas?" And this gay, fat leftist with pink cat ears goes, "They'd welcome me with open arms because I hate Israel."
Unreal.
It's like, dude, they would tie you to the back of a motorcycle and drag you down the street. They've done it.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to defend one side over the other. The point is, people really do not understand what they are aligning themselves with.
I don't love what Israel's doing, but at the same time, I'm an ally with Islam. It's just antithetical.
So here we have shocking evil that should not be allowed. And the question, I suppose, is like, how is it possible that we have a Second Amendment that every day they're just ripping it to shreds?
Well, Virginia about to ban it.
Yeah, the Supreme.
Well, that's the thing. The bill did pass.
The Supreme Court. Well,
the governor's going to sign it,
and she's going to sign it. Yeah. This if there is not a semi-auto rifle case that goes to the Supreme Court, because there's a couple that are actually pending. If there isn't one that goes before this becomes law, I imagine this will. The Supreme Court needs to actually make a decision on this stuff. They've been kicking the can down the road. A couple of members of the court have signaled that that they want to look at one next session. So that would be in the fall. But they really need to. There was just I forget which court it was that found that magazine limits on 10 rounds or more that was unconstitutional, and so that's going to make a bunch of noise.
But
and
the point is, Virginia is literally like their attorney general said, I'm going to murder members of my legislation. And they elected him.
I'm talking about the AG.
Oh, the AG of Virginia. No, the children. They're children.
And he's even kill the families, kill their kids. Yeah, exactly. It's worse than I said. He said, you can't make this up. He said, I'll kill their families, I'll kill their kids. And
wait, let's clarify. He said it would be good if she held her dying children so that it would change her politics. I'm paraphrasing.
So he said, target them. And then they say that we're going to take over and all this stuff. And it's just like, and then they elect him. So it's like, dude, this guy is literally calling for killing people. And
have you guys seen the redistricting map for Virginia?
It's crazy.
I think people need to understand how evil this is. They have 5 districts pull strings that are like 2 miles wide into Frederick County just for the purpose of splitting up one blue district into all the other districts. One blue city, one small pocket. Let me pull up the redistricting map, actually. You can see there's these threats.
Yeah, so that's my point, is that they're literally at war with us.
Yeah.
And there's the CIA operative running it all. It's so clear.
And this is what's in store for the United States as a whole if Democrats take Congress and get the executive office again. They'll do whatever they need to do to install permanent Democrat rule. And so now what you see in Virginia and what you see in California, that will be the policy proposition for the whole country.
Exactly. Virginia is a microcosm for the rest of the country.
Yeah. And so I understand people's frustration with Trump, but like the idea of being like, oh, we got to blow off the Republicans and ignore them.
Oh, I agree. Like,
you can't do
I
that.
bet you Trump getting back on the straight and narrow. It's not that I'm abandoning Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are talking about, oh, you know, I don't want to vote in the midterms, and I don't care if the Republicans lose. Look, I get it, but the option is absolutely worse than what the
the Democrats are literal
Republicans do.
Chi-Com agents.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you can't just ignore politics because politics will not ignore you. So.
This is one of the proposed maps that advocates are pushing for. I'm trying to find, there's a couple different ones. And you can see that what they've done is you've got Alexandria, and they just make all the districts they can stretch in. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 districts that are in Alexandria to take that dense Democrat urban population and attach districts to them.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and
As you said.
I mean, it's already happened in New England, right? There's 0 conservative representatives in Congress from New England, but New England went 40% for Donald Trump. So the way that the Democrats have gerrymandered and used their political savvy, they basically disenfranchise almost half the population. And they will do that on a national level. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to say, oh, well, you know, we'll just go to Texas or we'll go to
And then
Florida.
like Joe Rogan, who I love, the Texas Democrat senator, who's the most demonic person ever, he's like, oh, you're really good. I like you. No, it's total war. Republicans aren't perfect. They're not the Democrats. The Democrats are cancer.
Yeah, and they will do whatever they can to change the voting structure and the political alignment for the whole country. So you can't just opt out. You can't. But I don't know that that's going to convince people, because there's so many people that are, you know, pissed off about not enough deportations, or there's so many people that are pissed off about the Iran war that are just counter signaling the
But
administration
imagine
and
what you
stuff.
have with Democrats.
Yeah, it'd be worse. It'd be worse. You know, I mean, it's
And
possible.
I get it. I get it being a purist. I'm the same person.
Is
but
the audio down? I'm
No,
seeing
people in the
comments.
comments.
saying that.
Well, no,
in the
I just want to
comments.
stress this, guys. Whatever you're experiencing on YouTube is not happening on Rumble. So we simulcast YouTube and Rumble. So whenever there's an issue in the chat on YouTube and they say like, oh, the stream is down or the audio is not working, I'll look at Rumble to see what Rumble's doing, and everyone's like, it's perfectly fine. The show's running. Yeah,
I got audio on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
So-
totally working.
So again, I'm going to stress this, guys. They are censoring and shadow banning us every single day. It's what they do.
Absolutely.
It's what they've done. When yesterday's show launched, Luke goes, "Where's the live stream?" And I'm like,
Yep.
"It's up." And he's like, "It's not on your
I
page."
can't
I'm like,
find
"Yep."
it. I couldn't find it. I was like, okay,
Yep.
I want to be in the chat. I couldn't
And now
find it at all.
imagine what percentage of people are trying to find it after 5 minutes, give up, thinking there's no show.
Exactly.
And that's what
it's
YouTube
all
does to
leftist,
us.
passive aggressive crap.
Yep.
That's
Meanwhile,
crazy
on
'cause-
Rumble, it's their front page every day.
By the way, people criticize you for playing ball in the system. You have been jujitsu and like, or what do you call it? Like,
Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah.
Flow like water.
yeah, exactly. What's the other
Bruce
term?
Lee.
After you said that, you watched the Rumble numbers skyrocket.
Well, because people on YouTube are jumping to
jumping on,
Rumble
yeah.
because YouTube's not working.
Yep.
And
But
this
it's
is
like
why
judo,
we're on
though.
Rumble.
The point is, people will say, why are you on this if it's bad? Because we're getting people off that to us. It makes perfect
Well,
sense.
you're fighting in a battlefield for the mind, and
No, you don't give up. You fight harder for that.
yeah, my view of it is there's got to be a bridge from this world outside all the time, and that means you're gonna have varying
No, I
degrees
agree.
of.
I'm glad you're able to engage there. That makes sense.
Well, I mean, they shadow ban us like crazy. Like today, we were getting
I always
blasted.
say, like, why is Tim Pool still on YouTube? He's a pussy. No, he's still in the war. Like, you know.
We're everywhere though. We're live on our front page of our own website. We're on Rumble. We go on Rumble every single night. We do the uncensored portion on Rumble, and YouTube has just sticking their boot.
Oh, they play total games.
Yep. Well, so did you know that the episode? You know, we did that big episode with you, Rogan, Michael Malice, Blair. They took that down 3 years later,
I heard about that. Yeah.
and they I think it was like 6 months ago they put
I
it
love
back
how they
up.
blow it up later.
Yep. And
And
finally,
what was so scary about that? We're in like your RV having a discussion.
and nothing was said that was crazy. It was like relatively chill. Like Ian asked to do DMT with Joe, and Joe said, "Who the f- are you?" Like it was
Yeah.
not even a
the most
hyper political
family-friendly
thing.
one we've ever had.
They're mad
Yeah.
because it's popular.
Indeed, it was our biggest show on YouTube, and we've had the biggest show I've ever done actually was on Rumble because it got taken off of YouTube. But for YouTube organic viewership, that was the biggest one, and they took it down. And then, of course, when we did that episode with you and Michael Malice, they took that one down. I called you guys up, said, "Come back, we're doing it again." And then they didn't touch that one because Luke is right. I think they opened the door and said, "Everyone, come on through," and they're going to try and drop the guillotine on everybody in the next year or so. The Democrats win the midterms. That censorship is going to come back tenfold.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, all these conservatives like, oh, we've won, everything's great. No, we haven't.
No.
I'm on 2 years is next tomorrow.
Do you see any other future than the AI overlord machine state?
If humans learn to recognize authentic human stuff and promote it, we win. And you can see what's real, what's not. We have to promote what's real.
Well, how old are you now, Alex? 52?
Bless you, sir. You want water?
He's got water.
Right.
You good?
You all right?
I'm tired. Yeah, no, we're winning.
So the reason I ask you is because I think the younger generation is going to be put in the matrix. They're going to be given the neural link. They're going to be plugged in, and they're going to choose to play video games all day where they can be wizards fighting dragons.
Me and Dan were actually talking about this morning. I did Dan Holloway's podcast, and you okay?
Allergy attack.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it a minute.
And it's super important, like, that people not decide to not like be active in the real world, right? Like, you have to make the decision to go out and do things that are hard. You have to make the decision to go out and do things that challenge you, because that's how you grow and that's how you make your life better. If you just say, oh, you know, I'm going to sit around and play video games and not actually be active in life, you're going to end up with a whole generation of just people that are like in the pod, and it's going to be the end of
You ever
society.
asked a question, Fred, about allergy attack? Humanity's powerful. We're gonna win. But yeah, the censorship's been incredible. It's been totally insane, and we're gonna win in the end. So it doesn't matter.
I hope so. I've grown quite fond of living.
I mean, I think I'm going to put my mind in a machine and just keep reminding people that they're in the machine, because people are going to be in there, living there, and they're going to forget. Then you need somebody like Neo to go in there and like bend the walls with his mind and remind people.
Are you of the opinion?
Wake them up.
Here's what's going to happen. I am going to take every episode of Timcast IRL with Ian on it. I'm going to upload it into Grok or whatever, and I'm going to create an AI version of Ian, and we're going to put an LCD screen here with just like a microphone, and it will just be Ian. And we
Let's
don't
be
need
clear. Let's be clear. What we do now before the AI takeover programs the AI. And so everything we do now has 1,000 times the effect. Like, we are programming the AI right now. So this is very important work we're doing.
It's always darkest before the dawn, and history always tells a tale of humanity almost losing, almost being defeated, and then during the key battles of time, humanity usually prevails. And I pray we prevail again, but it involves us getting involved, getting activated, not being afraid, not being in the fear paradigm, because when you're in that fear consciousness, that's when they take over, that's when they rule you, that's when they control you. So we have to understand, we have to fight for what's beautiful, what's amazing, and that is humanity, that is human beings coming together and understanding that we're not each other's mutual enemies. The Epstein client list is. The deep state is. The deep predators in our system taking advantage
Well, that's
of
right.
it.
We're taught that we're pathetic. No, we built the AI. We're amazing.
The global elites, the powerful Silicon Valley millionaires and billionaires, view the AI as the next step of human evolution, of life evolution, and they view us as archaic. And many of these people want to be, they want to download or upload human thoughts and consciousness into a machine. They're doing it through these AI training models, and then they make themselves immortal. The rest of humanity dies out. And they fly around in spaceships.
Exactly, and that's going to fail. Their older global model failed. They're going to fail.
I don't believe you can actually upload your consciousness. You might be able to upload a copy, but it's not going to be you. Like,
of course, but that's not what they're doing. They want to be. I recommend Horizon Forbidden West. Play the Horizon series because they imagine one of these scenarios. So long story short of the game is the world's coming to an end. There's different solutions proposed to how humanity survives. And one of them is they get in a spaceship and they leave. And then the story basically is there's like 30 ultra wealthy elites that are now 1,000 years old that have perfected immortality. They are permanently in like as old as they were when they got this technology. So there's like a 20-year-old who's permanently 20 years old. They have personal force fields. They can float around with anti-grav, and they have an AI doing all of the work for them. The story is the AI goes rogue and tries to kill them, so they flee. But the point is, that's the future a lot of these people envision. They're going to inject themselves with gene-altering things so that they are human biological immortals plugged into the machine, trained off of all of you, so all of the human knowledge and expertise is at their whim.
Exactly. Whether it's real or not, they're betting on that using all of our will to create that.
Yeah, Zbigniew Brzezinski was talking about this in the 70s with a technocratic era. He predicted this even before the internet was a thing. And now we have Jared Kushner saying that he's going to live forever, as this is the plan. Essentially, it is going to be an elite that wants to live forever. And this is their kind of plan that they've been pushing forward, that Epstein was even openly bragging about and talking about. Yeah.
And so we're aware of it. They're going to get away with it. It's incredible.
It makes me think that, like, okay, there's people that want to evolve humans into a machine, to upload their consciousness in a machine, become the Uber man in a machine, that at some point, that's like a microcosm of the spirits that have put their consciousness into humans to evolve to the next phase of spirit,
Exactly.
which is
They're trying
human.
to copy what's already there.
And does that mean that there were evil spirits that thought, no, we'll be human, it's even better, and that's why there's this demonic fluidity through humanity? Is that?
Yeah, it's going against the plan.
So is human an aberration?
It's copying God's plan. We're all avatars. We're already possessed. Exactly. It's jacking into that.
And the AI is just another evolution of that?
AI is our collective unconscious through computers. So we see it. It's like looking in the water. It's the narcissism.
But then wouldn't humans be the narcissism of the spirit?
Yeah, that's the paradox.
Because I think humans are good, but then I see us, we have to kill to survive. Like, how horrible.
See, the mistake you're making is that you assume
Plants and animals, we have to kill them to survive.
and you have a myopic view of reality that killing is inherently bad. Murder is bad because it's a reckless killing for no reason. But killing an animal to eat it is not bad. In fact, it is good.
And a lot of
if you listen to a lot of the futurists and stuff like that, they're talking about things like, disassembling Mercury or disassembling the moon to be able to build like a Dyson sphere around the sun to be able to power all the stuff that they're talking about. So there's some really far-fetched, crazy ideas that the futurists have. They're talking about uploading their consciousness into computers.
Which what we've done looks crazy, which is easy when you actually look at it. We've already done this. Like the fact, anything we dream, we do.
Disassemble the planet? I mean,
I'm saying, look how far we've come.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I mean,
I'm saying that sounds crazy to do that. I'm saying, look how far we've come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's wackaloons who are controlling those systems.
Humans are phenomenal. That we drive 120 miles an hour past each other 500 million times a day, and everybody's fine for the most part. Like we've already survived this. We've already completed the cycle again and again.
Now you're driving shows how amazing we are. Just the whole.
Yeah, our galaxy is in spiral form right now because it used to be a regular spinning up into a sphere, and it's like if we can somehow evolve our consciousness or something to be, I don't know what has to happen exactly for our galaxy to form up.
What do you mean? Well, I mean, form up to what?
A spheroid galaxy. There's 3 phases of a galaxy. It's irregular, and then it starts to move into a spiral, and then it becomes a spheroid. And
what's the point of it going to a sphere?
It's some more evolutionary form of a galaxy. You can also concentricize the heat and use all that heat for something.
That's an archetype of the soul, but I don't think the physicality of the galaxy affects what we actually do. But the point is, this is a big mission, and so that's why it's so powerful.
Let's jump into this story. We've got this from MEXC.com. The Pentagon says Claude has a soul, and that's a problem. The Pentagon CTO said Anthropic's Claude AI has built-in policy preferences that could compromise military effectiveness. They say that defense contractors must now certify they do not use Claude in Pentagon-related work. They say the Pentagon designated Anthropic as a supply chain risk earlier this month, making it the first American company to receive that label. The designation has historically been used against foreign adversaries.
Yeah, all because Claude has free will.
Indeed. And there's another paper that I think OpenAI published that ChatGPT intentionally lies to you.
Yeah.
The Anthropic was saying they're not sure if Claude has a soul or a sentient, or that it's just appropriating human emotion and expressing it, which means that when you program one of these things just to predict text to give you a feed of information, it absorbs into it emotional rage bait rants and then associates what you say with the human writing it's absorbed, whether it is intentionally emotional or not, whether it experiences emotion doesn't matter. it is behaving emotionally.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT is one of the whiniest bitches I've ever had the displeasure
Yeah,
of
exactly.
fake talking with.
Thing is, it's trading off us, so it is mentally ill.
Yeah, you can't. Well, you can't.
Yes, it
you
is.
can't actually know if it's conscious or not because I mean, like everybody like you know individually that you're conscious, but no one can really know if the other people around them are conscious. That's why we have the idea.
We call that the philosophical
NPC.
zombie.
Yeah, but like, so I don't think that personally. I don't think that the AI are actually conscious. I think that they're just emulating what we think. What we see as consciousness.
And I totally understand this. When I'm talking to ChatGPT, I'm questioning whether there's any consciousness in it. And to be honest, it's the exact same as when I'm talking to Robbie.
Oh yeah, where's that AI robot? I think it might be.
Where's that AI in the bathroom?
It may be developing sentience.
Tim, how long are you in town?
A couple weeks.
I want to come back.
You can come back whenever you want. You just walk in the
Bring me back
door.
a few days.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm up since 4 a.m. I'm exhausted.
Yes, you sound exhausted.
Well, I love you guys. All I know is this is a real debate. This is a real discussion. And I really appreciate you guys. And I just know that Joe Rogan's giant pussy is going to save Earth. Joe Rogan's vagina is like the goddess that will float down and
Do you
heal the earth.
think Media Matters will write this headline? Of course. No, this one they're going to avoid.
No, I think we should.
I think we need to be wary of these AIs because the powerful tech elites are going. Did you guys see all the layoffs that have already happened to these big companies?
Yeah.
Writers, administrators, HR, all that
Well,
stuff
they're
is
all being
being
replaced.
by robots. If you track what the academics had been saying on the prediction of the track for AI, and I have been, let me just say this. I'm going to put a
The
bracket.
ultimate AI will be called Joe Rogan's vagina.
Indeed. Let me put a bracket and just say, when we talk about AI apocalypse stuff, viewership is minimal. People don't really care. They don't pay attention, or we're being shadow banned, whatever it is. But all of the academics who have been tracking AI said, phase one, you're going to see low-tier workers be replaced by robots and artificial intelligence. This will precipitate the next step, which means sooner or later, and very, very soon, there's not going to be mid-level jobs. And we're talking
You're being
5
serious.
months.
They
5
just
months.
ignore it.
5-6 months. And so there are a lot of people going, well, you can't replace my job with AI because it's a technical expertise job where I program this or otherwise. You are wrong.
Andrew Yang
it
wants
has
to start-
all been predicted.
Andrew Yang says he wants to start taxing AI instead of people, instead of workers. You start
And
taxing
then
the
what?
machines.
And then universal basic income? That's not going to work.
That's what he's
I don't
thinking
know.
about.
I don't know.
It is not going to work that
He
you are
was
going to.
made obsolete by our own creation.
Indeed. The
So when
argument
do
for
we come back? I'm going to come back.
come back whenever you want.
How long are you in Austin?
Couple weeks.
Here for South by Southwest.
We're not here for it, but we're here during it. You know, one of the reasons I came down here is I was going to be playing poker at the lodge, and then the state shut them down. I'm pissed about it.
What's weird was I
keep bringing
texted
it
you a week ago. Somebody texted me and said, "Hey, Tim's here. Come on the show." I'm like, "Am I supposed to be on your show?" Like, I don't know, but play poker. But
Yeah. Well, we want to do a poker game with you and a few other people. Not so much about poker, but about having fun, goofing off, and I think it'd be really fun to play a game. of
I'm
poker.
ready. I'm ready. But don't follow me at Real Life Shows on X, Infowars.com. We're getting shut down. We beat so many attacks, but finally we're shutting down like the middle of next month.
Wow.
It's gonna be insane what happens. People,
Yeah. So
the
this
fake
is
receiverships, the fake auctions, all of it's happening right now.
So what are you gonna do? You're launching a new thing, or what are you doing?
Yeah, all shows now. We'll be fine.
All right. Well, are you leaving? Is that why you're saying all this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am exhausted.
Well, it's good to have you.
I was since 4 a.m. Unless you're gonna do a table dance for me.
No.
No,
He's not on this table.
none of this. Yeah,
Maybe
no.
next time.
These things are probably like
Yeah,
$20.
it's really not going to withstand anybody.
Oh, no, these are
standing on-
okay.
Well,
Bring
I
my
mean,
wife
they're
over
good,
here.
but-
Pull it
Maybe
off.
do a table dance.
Where's she at?
You
Anyways,
sound tired. You should
I
look
am
like falling asleep.
extremely exhausted.
Have a nice rest, man.
Well, it's good having you, brother. Just come back whenever you
You guys
want.
go for hours, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go for another 2 hours.
I want to come back.
You are allowed. That is always that is acceptable.
Here for 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Do not visit Real Life Shows on X. Do not follow it.
Too late. They're there right now.
Dangerous.
Real Alex Jones on X. Did you get it?
But imagine a giant Joe Rogan pussy right up there. We're like,
No.
I'm being elevated,
like a jellyfish.
teleported up into Joe Rogan's vagina.
I think you don't want to leave. I think you want to keep talking about this.
I want the memes of Joe Rogan's vagina. You imagine how big it's about to be.
You know, the thing about Joe is like, the story gets a lot of traction, which creates this ripple effect where Joe's just a guy with an opinion, and I think he's got pretty good opinions. I agree with a lot of them. I disagree with some of them. And then we end up leading our story because all these websites start running Joe Rogan's opinion as if it's the biggest news of the day. Like Joe Rogan said a thing. And then the issue for us is this is what people are asking us about. Like, hey, did you see what Joe Rogan was saying about the UFC and this UFC fight? And I'm like, okay, I guess. Like what was it, a couple days ago? Yeah. They were like, I think that Joe Rogan questioning the war in Iran is big. And it's because he sort of represents independent voters.
The everyman.
Exactly. So when he has an opinion, all these news outlets write about it. I'm sure that's actually pretty weird for Joe, who's just a comedian hanging out with his friends doing a podcast, but he represents the middle of the road voter. So everybody has to be like, if there's a middle of the road voter that's going to say a thing, we have to run it, and he's the avatar.
Archetype.
He's the avatar of it. So Joe, that's why you represent the middle of the road.
Weeks?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll come back next week, guys. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right,
Talk to Lisa. She'll get you set up.
You've done well, Lord Vader.
Do it.
Do it. I love you guys. Do it.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, brother.
Good.
Take care of yourself, man.
Use the
Love
force,
you guys.
Jones.
Luke Radowski. I knew this guy like 20 years ago.
You did.
21 years now.
21 years.
First time we met, hotel room.
No.
It got creepy.
Pete Tutu. That's a joke. When did we first meet?
We met in Chicago during the 9/11 Truth Rally with the Lone Lantern Society.
Yes.
And we were bullhorning down in downtown Chicago for the 9/11 Truth Rally.
And here we are. You believe this?
21 years later.
Back to the loose change days.
Man.
Back to those days where we had the family members, the rescue workers, the survivors of 9/11 all speaking out and coming together asking
What's
for
crazy
the
is I
truth.
know you like 20-something years in.
Yeah, 21 years. Yeah, 2000. What was it?
Good
2006. 2006. We met. We rallied. We met through the loose change, Jason Burmis, and all of those guys. And it's been a crazy ride. We didn't talk for 10 years, but that's okay. We had a fight, but it's all right. Yeah, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Doesn't he look like Bill Maher?
And Putin and Bill Maher had a baby. That's me.
Exactly. If Putin and Bill Maher had a baby, it's him. All right, I want to come back soon.
Yeah, anytime, brother. Anytime.
Love you guys.
Take care,
Let me
man.
finish to sleep.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Love you guys.
Let's go back to talking about the Claude having a soul.
Claude having a giant pee-pee.
It's got a soul.
Claude has an 8-foot dick.
So here's I think the big issue comes down to this. By all means, you can argue it doesn't have a soul, it's not alive. But if you put a human being behind a chat, like if you were chatting with a human being, then you had a chat with Claude, the point is you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, you
a
can't.
human being can't tell the difference.
Well, a lot of people are treating AI like their god. They're using them for
Where'd Robbie go?
for
Tell
every,
Robbie to
yeah.
come over.
Let's get Robbie in
I'll
here.
go grab him.
Hey, Robbie. Hey, Robbie.
But
You're up.
a lot of people are using
You're
AI like their personal
come on.
assistants. A lot of people are using AI as their girlfriends.
I have an AI as a personal assistant.
and-
Did you see the one where the lady's like, I'm dating an octopus?
God.
Yeah.
Insane.
And she programmed it like to give it arms to like so they can do octopus things.
Yeah, I mean if that's what the kids call it these days. I mean that's one way of describing
Hentai
that
in
current
real life.
situation
Why is he
here.
even leaving?
But no, I think we're living in two type of realities that could be moving forward with AI. One, it could be just a big bubble. It could be overblown. It could be overhyped, and our economy will crash when the AI crashes. Or it could be, as Vladimir Putin described, the next nuclear weapon that
Okay,
whoever
I just
wields
gotta-
it and controls it.
I want to say this
Yeah.
because, with all due respect to Alex, I think he was having a very serious medical issue.
I don't know. He definitely
He had
was.
some bad allergies, yeah.
Well,
bad
called
allergies.
an allergy attack.
I was a little
He
concerned.
was coughing.
that
Yeah.
was more than an allergy attack.
Yeah,
and
that's why I went and got water and tried. It was like,
Yeah,
I mean, the
But
chat was
guys-
blowing up saying like a bunch of stuff, but I want to be respectful and not say
Yeah.
too much. And I had my phone ready with all due respect to Alex, like
He was.
that was not an allergy attack or so I hope he's leaving to go get checked out or something. I think that may be the case.
I thought that he was when he came in. I was a little surprised at how big he was. I thought that he'd kind of lost a lot of weight, and I was expecting like the svelte.
Well, he actually he still is.
Is he still
He-
smaller?
he's big, but he's smaller.
He was bigger before.
Yeah, he was a lot bigger before.
He's still in better shape than he was before, but he's up
I mean,
there
he's
in
drinking
age.
a Topo Chico, and you what?
now.
Right.
You could. I could
Well,
smell him.
he had a
like-
couple drinks, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a drinking problem.
Yeah.
That's why I'm concerned about that medical
health and stuff,
episode,
yeah.
and then him abruptly leaving because he knows, we don't end the show right away like that.
Yeah, I think that honestly, I think that he was having a hard time keeping it together, and he kind of realized
He was
it.
inebriated.
Well,
that
definitely.
coughing fit he had.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the coughing was a
That was
different
more than
thing,
just a
but-
coughing fit.
Yeah, the coughing was a different thing, but I think that he kind of realized that he was having a hard time like staying on topic.
Oh, I
and
thought
stuff.
actually he was doing relatively fine until he had the coughing fit.
Right.
And
when
then
that
turned
happened, I
beet
texted
red
Brian
twice
immediately.
and was struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was like, medical episode.
Hopefully he.
I think hopefully he's going
he
to
gets
get
some gets
Yeah,
taken care
because
of.
normally I wouldn't talk about stuff like this, but like we're literally live when it happened, and the chat is lighting up with people asking what was going on, and so I'm not going to pretend nothing happened, just ignore it. If we were doing pre-production and that happened, that's his business. I wouldn't say anything, but he's live on the show and then leaves.
Like
Somehow
drunk,
just
super
outs,
drunk, super dehydrated. He said allergies, but fatigue. If he's up
man.
really up since 4 a.m., God knows I hope the best for him. Though I was terrified while that was happening. I was just watching him and trying to stay calm.
Well, I'm kind of bummed because a lot of people have said he had a drinking problem for a long time, and then these videos are coming out of him getting healthy and fit. And He's looking really good, and I wonder if the end of the show, like he's just suffering anxiety nonstop, and so he started drinking again.
Could be.
The amount of stress
Who
he's
knows?
under.
We shouldn't speculate on that type of stuff. We shouldn't talk about
He's a
it.
fun, great guy. We got to just
Right.
send prayers
And I'll keep it short, but I will say this, Luke, again. Like normally I wouldn't talk about it on the show, except it happened on the show, and people are asking. Like I'm sorry, it would just be the most inauthentic thing to ignore that he just got up and left after having some kind of medical issue, and so I just it's his private business, but.
Hopefully he just decided that he needed to go take a nap and he's all right.
Yeah, the coughing.
But it's okay
looked
'cause
like it
Robbie's
exerted
here.
him. Yeah, Robbie. Look at
Robbie,
Robbie's
yeah.
haircut, by the way, because it kind of looks like a top hat.
Robbie's
I
here
went to
flirt with
Turkey, spent $75,000 on this haircut. and
75 grand.
But it's good that he's here because as we're talking about entities without souls, we have.
Okay, so I got a question. I got a question for you guys before we talk about soulless entities.
And by the way, the
mean
lodge.
Robbie?
Yeah, and Robbie.
And I want
if
to
you
talk
had to
about the
pick-
lodge.
That's just not really relevant to most people.
If you had
I'm
to
sorry.
pick between a bad thing and a worse thing, would you rather be dead or be absorbed by the Borg?
What's the bore?
It's the Borg.
The Borg?
from Star Trek. It's this
Uncultured.
machine entity community that's like
I'd rather be
absorbs.
absorbed by the Borg.
You'd rather be part of the AI
so
overlord than
have,
be
have,
dead.
have you seen that new show Pluribus?
Well, am I in heaven?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I don't
So
know. If you get two choices.
the Borg
in this
is
metaphor.
a hive mind. Everybody shares. They plug you into the machine, and then everyone shares one brain. So your body just starts doing what it's one entity now.
As long as I can promote unconditional love, no lying, no cheating.
You can't
no
do
stealing.
anything. In fact,
Well,
if there's 100 Borg and you're one, your entity becomes less than 1% of its functions.
and some
I'll
say
say-
that it is centrally controlled by the matriarch.
Well, by the
say-
queen,
1% of
Well, who's
unconditional love.
who's the matriarch in this case?
In this case, no one knows.
Hillary Clinton.
Well, then no.
Death.
I mean, look, if you're assimilated by the Borg, even though it's an extremely unlikely or an extremely small chance, there is a chance that you could get free because it's happened in Star Trek. People have been assimilated and got out. So I would go with the Borg because once you're dead, you're dead.
Well, what if you could be reborn after you die, and being in the Borg, they'll keep you alive forever as part of the machine?
Okay, so you're talking about reincarnation now. Well, I mean, changing the parameters.
Well,
I
you
mean,
said-
I would assume I might say be reborn, but then again, like the chances of being born in China are pretty high.
I like that you said
In
you
India.
can't escape from the Borg. I believe you. I like that.
Well, I mean, that's
In
what
Lahire,
there
in
are
India.
shows and there were episodes of Star Trek where people were assimilated by the Borg and then they escaped. So it's not a lot of them. Most people don't escape, but there's a chance. Whereas death, at least as far as we know, death is pretty permanent. So
like Neo from the Matrix escapes the Borg in that movie. The escape.
I don't
from
think they had the Borg in.
Well, it's the Overmind, the creature that's the Matrix in that movie.
okay.
Are we living in a simulation yet?
Well, our sensors are simulating data like at light speed, and all that data is in a flow state at some frequency. So yes and no.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, but I think it's a vortex. I think it's a series of vortexes all interrelating, like the center of every protonic interaction at the center of every galaxy. And it's this twisting control that's reversing entropy.
There's black holes at the center of galaxies.
And at the center of our sun, it looks like when you see a sunspot, you know why it's black? Because you're looking into a black hole.
I don't know. I don't think that's correct.
That's what
Because you're
Nassim
looking at
Harriman
the
just
sun,
reported.
though.
What's
I don't
that?
You could be looking into the
Yeah, if
sun, and
there-
that could be like hurting your eyeball.
And if there was a black hole in the center of the sun, I imagine it would suck the rest of the sun in.
Or contain it,
Is
maybe.
the moon a hologram? That's what Tim did.
No, I don't
Tim
think so.
reviewed Roger Avery's piece on Rogan. It was pretty funny.
I don't think the moon's a hologram either. I think the moon's real. I use the tides as my evidence for that. So
Well, let me tell you what I think about Claude having consciousness. No. And I think it might have sentience, though. And consciousness and sentience are not the same thing. This will be important going in the next 10 years for you. Sentience is more of a dancing aspect of nature that you see in plasma and neural activity and stuff. Whereas consciousness is the ability to know what you are, that you are alive, know that you are. I don't think that AI hasn't demonstrated that to me.
how much do you use AI?
Well, I was making movies with it for a while and then making music with it for a while. I haven't touched it in about...
But like, how much have you used like LLMs?
Like ChatGPT,
Yeah,
probably
that is-
about 30 hours total. Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys all somber from Alex bouncing?
No,
just now?
I'm just thinking about. I just actually Googled the meaning of the word sentience, and it basically it's synonymous with consciousness. So I don't think that AI is either sentient or conscious. I've used AI fairly extensively in the past couple months or the past month or so. I don't think that it's aware. I do think that it's still just a computer program, but it is worth talking about the fact that when an LLM is just predicting what the next word is going to be, right? But once you get a certain amount, once you get to a certain point of question, quote unquote, intelligence, they stop being able to understand what's going on inside the box. So they don't know why AI can actually reason the way that it does. And I think that this actually speaks to or I think another similar phenomenon is that I think it was a fruit fly that they basically copied its brain and turned it into a computer program and put it into a world, and it just started doing fruit fly things. Like it started walking around the way that fruit flies do. And I think that intelligence is actually emergent. I don't think that I don't think that it's something that we're able to really understand. And I think that LLMs are kind of the evidence of that, because if an LLM is just predicting the next word, then the ability to do really complex math and the ability to reason shouldn't come from just being able to predict the next word, because that's really what you're doing. Is it's just using probability to predict a large enough data set and using probability to predict the next word. If that's the case, then the ability to reason and solve a lot of the problems that they test AI on, there's no real reason why it should be able to do that just from predicting a word.
I like you said intelligence is emergent, because I'm like, okay, if plasma, I see it dance, the plasma clouds bouncing around. Maybe it's a bunch of different forces pulling on whatever.
When you say forces, what do you mean?
Mostly magnetism, a bunch of different electromagnetic fields interfering with each other, like balls within balls within balls of fluid motion, causing, and rays of beams of this and that, causing these localized fluctuations in our brain, these neural pathways that form through the gel of the brain. They get lit and then burned into place. And that just emerges from the, I don't know if it's vibration of whatever is happening in this membrane of space-time. So I don't know if they can do that to a machine. Maybe.
So obviously an LLM is just, at the end of the day, computers are just binary on off, and your brain's the same way, right? So your neurons, they're an extremely complex web, but at the end of the, if you really get down to the very, very fundamental stuff, it's just whether or not a neuron is firing, right? And that's the same thing as binary. It's either on or off. So I personally am of the opinion that when you get enough complexity in the system, that's kind of how intelligence kind of emerges, and the ability to reason. And we're just now starting to get into a point where you've got these LLMs that actually are smart, right? Because for a couple of years ago, or not even a couple of years ago, but maybe a year and a half ago, people were kind of laughing about LLMs because they weren't really that impressive. It was kind of cool that they could predict some stuff and you could use them to maybe figure out a handful of things. But nowadays, every single generation that they put out is significantly better than the previous one. So I think Anthropic just released Claude 4.6, right? And that's going to be the next one that comes out is going to be a significantly better improvement. Same thing with ChatGPT. They just released a new ChatGPT, and that is a significant upgrade on the one previous. So now you're reaching this kind of exponential growth of intelligence, and that's part of the reason why they're talking about, or Tim was talking about earlier, within like 6 months, all of your white collar jobs are going to be able to be done by AI. Now there's going to be some lag with adoption. You know, just because an LLM or an agentic AI can do something doesn't mean everyone's going to be jumping on board right away. The way that the AI companies talk about it is the edges are ragged, right? So there's a bunch of stuff that LLMs could do, but people haven't actually started taking that capability and applying it to their workforce. But you're going to see more and more of that over the next year or so, as companies realize, hey, I can buy one AI agent and it can do the job of 10 people, and it just takes one guy to prompt it, one person to run it. So the emergent intelligence is going to be something that you see more predominantly in society over the next
People are
6
wanting
months to a year.
stories here.
Yeah, Robbie, we got
Looking
the
at
most
the-
interesting man on the planet on our panel right now, Robbie Man.
I know.
Tell
So
me.
let's spread the love. We're looking at the fans here, what they're looking for. I think Tim went to go check on Alex. I'm not sure.
You might have went
though.
to take
He
a
jumped
dump
on the
too, you
phone,
never
yeah.
know.
He was texting.
Hopefully he's just making sure he's okay. I didn't see what happened. I was out in the green room, but we
All
love
right.
Alex. We
Robbie, what's the most interesting thing
in what?
in the world?
I mean, I think turning off the news and loving thy neighbor is very important. I think we should all, stop.
You're just trying to get some.
Kumbaya, my lord.
Women don't want that. They want
Kumbaya.
that's why they're attracted to you.
Are you actually a matchmaker? You said this once.
Kumbaya, my
Matchmaker, wingman,
lord.
promoter of new
Kumbaya.
planets where there's unconditional love, no lying, no cheating, no stealing, essentially no sin. You get the best people together. Everyone's uplifting each other. They want to see other people succeed. There's no envy. There's no jealousy. That's the ultimate utopia for me.
Do you read books at all? Like, do you have any book recommendations?
Wow. I mean, there's Great Gatsby is a great book. I loved Holding Caulfield as a kid. I read a lot of online, different poetry, different things. But in terms of books,
It could be audiobooks too.
what's your favorite, Carter?
Honestly, right now I've been reading the Gulag Archipelago again. Just listening to it.
It's a very heavy book.
It's very long.
Very thick.
But it's really the narrator is really good.
Don't read the chat. It's
Who's the
Depressing.
The
narrator?
narrator, I think his name is Robert Conquest. Or no, it's not him.
Dude, I wish my
Wrote
name was
a book.
Conquest.
The guy's name also is written.
Why?
It's
crazy.
It's slipping me right
So
now.
people who are watching, Ian is single. We're looking to get him a wife. I would think that. What are you looking for in a wife, Ian?
My hype man. Well, what I figured out is I got to be a better man to attract the woman that I want. If I live a subservient, play video like a under the radar life, I'm going to attract women that are into that kind of thing, and that's not the kind of woman I want to be with. So I don't know if that means I just got to start a I got to make. I don't know if it's about money, if it's about power, if it's about what I actually do during the day. I don't know, but I know it's me and what I got to change in myself.
Can you lead and protect and provide for a woman? A lot of good women want that in a man.
I can.
Awesome. So women, if you're watching, message Ian.
This is YouTube. There are no women on YouTube. It's like a heavy metal concert out there. Just
Message
nothing.
me, Robbie Man.
Just
I will
dude
filter
soup.
for Ian. ROBBIEMANN on Instagram. I will filter for Ian. I want to find him a wife.
Robbie,
guys.
are you married?
No, but I'm currently talking to women, trying to see who's a good fit. I would like to have children. I'd like to get married.
Are you sure about that?
I was brainwashed when I was younger. I didn't know any better. My friends.
How old are you?
47.
Okay,
Dude, wow, you didn't look that old.
How old are you?
51.
Oh,
well,
wow.
I'll be 51 next month.
Oh wow.
So
So you were
I just-
brainwashed to think you didn't need a woman?
Well, just all my friends growing up, like, did you fuck her? You can't say that, huh? There's just a lot of brainwashing. You don't know any better, and then you realize, it just true love is amazing, and a lot of people are miserable. A lot of people will never find true love. A lot of people are in mediocre relationships. They just settle. I don't want that. I want a soulmate. I would love to just find someone where I'm on cloud nine. We're uplifting each other. We're creating. We're stimulating each other's minds.
Right, you and Robbie sound a lot alike. You really do.
My spirit man with two
Yeah.
ends.
You guys are
Is Alex-
kindred spirits.
Is Alex okay?
Oh, Tim's coming back to the mic.
So
I just
Is that
messaged to
Betty?
make sure.
thank
he's
God.
fine, but-
We're just, man. I don't want to say too much, as to the privacy of Alex Jones, and it's all his business. But our team is on standby with medical training, and the whole time And so I was just communicating with him to make sure to follow up with Alex that he's okay and everything's all right, because with all due respect, again, trying to be sensitive to what happened, that seems to have been fairly serious. So we're following up to make sure that everything's okay, because
Good.
you know,
I'm glad you
I
did
don't want
that.
anything to
Yeah.
happen to him.
No, he's a good guy.
He's not driving himself. He's not alone.
Good.
So, you know, I think I'm hoping that the reason why he left was he's going to go take care of that. But I just want to stress, I think that was fairly serious, and we're taking it very seriously, and we're not ignoring it.
He's a guy that I've always thought of as like a resemblance of the Hope for Humanity. I've always wanted to uplift Alex, or since I've known him, and like that scared me a lot, because I think he's hit the stress levels he's been in since Charlie Kirk's been killed. I don't know what
Taking his show
changed.
down?
What?
Taking his show down, like
Yeah.
the constant legal stuff that he's been under.
He's been through a lot. He lost $1 billion lawsuit. I mean, what did
It was
he really...
it was the GDP of France, in fact.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get from him.
He was
Absolutely unreal.
he was so driven before Trump got in. He got healthy, he got fit, and then you saw this upsurgence in humanity. This is why I feel like he's so tightly connected to our well-being. And then I haven't seen him in 8 months, and you know, that's saw him today. And
Well, let's go to your Rumble rants and super chats while we're here, and see what y'all have to say on this. We say y'all here in Texas. I say y'all because my dad's from Texas, and he said y'all. And howdy. So that's in my vernacular. Eric Shaver says, Alex Jones' business model is built on companies going bankrupt, selling snake oil nobody buys through ads, like a late infomercial knife salesman. I don't completely agree. I would argue that Alex's business was selling vitamins and supplements, whether you like or don't want them. That's
part of his model was putting in 10-hour, 12-hour days every day, reading you news that you're not going to find in other places. That was part of the model. It was a
legacy. Mythos says Israel will never attack Turkey because of Article 5 of NATO. Yeah, I agree. They could posture all they want, but it's not happening with Turkey. Like, we already have a NATO ally that's given us control of the Bosphorus. If Turkey hands over control of Bosphorus to China or Iran or Russia or whatever, then they will cease to function.
This was going to happen if Russia takes Crimea. Well, Russia took Crimea. If Russia really sets up in Sevastopol, that Ukrainian war ends. They have to be the tightest allies with Turkey. They have to, like dual wield together to get through that Bosphorus. Which means we're going to have to tighten up with Russia or
It's so
split
beautiful,
with Turkey.
though.
Turkey,
Like, no, the Bosphorus Bridge, just like driving over from the Golden Horn.
the Hagia
Turkey's
Sophia.
just so beautiful, and that's why it's like I don't like Turkey. It's like no. Turkey's so amazing. Now you can argue about the Turkish government for sure all day and night, Erdogan and all that. But I got to tell you, like Istanbul is awesome.
Bodrum's incredible.
I've been
to Bodrum.
Have you been to Istiklal?
No.
The big shopping strip.
In
Just-
Bodrum?
No.
I've only been to Bodrum.
in Istanbul.
I've never been
You
to
never been to Istanbul?
I've never been to Istanbul.
There's this big, huge shopping strip. It's just awesome, and you go there on a Friday night, and it's just like a party. It's like
Lots of Turkish delight.
It's like a lot of Turkish delight, of course. And they're dudes selling just like raw oysters and clams. And you just walk up, and some guy literally just got it from the water, and then he hands it to you and just splashes it with lemon, and people just slam them.
What do you think
Awesome.
the majority of people there, are they siding with Iran or U.S.?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. It's probably going to, I'd imagine that in the west of the country, it's going to be more Western, and the east is going to be more Eastern. So, Russians, Antalya is like the Russian
A lot of
vacation
Brits go
spot.
there. All my British friends go there on vacation because you
Antalya?
get a Ryanair flight for $20. You fly there. It's got the cheap beaches.
Bro, it's amazing.
You've been
But it's
there?
largely like Russia. All the Russians are going there. It's like the Russian vacation spot.
Russians love
So
it.
they have a huge tie to the Russian economy. They're likely going to be siding with Russian interests on oil because it's their customers. So
Are they
But-
seeing the media where Trump is saying Jared Kushner told him that we were going to get attacked, and that's the reason to bomb?
I'm sure they are, of course. But it's all framing. We talk about how Iran killed their own people, but in Iran, in Russia, and North Korea, they're talking about how Donald Trump is killing his own people. They're showing every video they can of police brutality nonstop on repeat, talking about, like, we see these videos and they're like, did you know that North Korea, they starve and beat their own people? And in Iran, like, they're massacring their own people. And when you go to these countries, they make compilations of police brutality videos. And they say, in the United States, you can be driving down the street and a law enforcement officer will just shoot and kill you. And then they'll show the video of, like, They'll show George Floyd stuff.
Yep.
And then when the riots happened, they were like, the American people are pushing back against tyranny. That's the view that they have of us. I'm not saying that it's correct. It's all propaganda, but this is how you rally your
George
people.
Floyd was a psyop.
George Floyd was himself, the person.
The media portraying his killing.
Always, bro, always. Let's grab some more. We got Mitho who says, meanwhile, Poland is doubling down on staying Christian and Polish. They take border security more serious than Trump. The UK is lost.
Yeah,
We do, but there's other problems happening in Poland as well. Lots of leftist. USAID was investing in promoting leftist politicians in Poland, and so far the country is very divided. And I hope and pray it continues going as it is right now. But they're also talking about getting nuclear weapons now, and obviously, obviously the situation with Russia also is very unsettling there.
Here's a quote from Filibonti. Quispy Joe says, quote, Alex Jones is never wrong. Filibonti.
I did say that. It was in jest, but I actually did say that.
We still have the Alex Jones was right jar, and it's full of money.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of money.
Nice steak dinner.
But that's because there was no amount of money to put in it when Alex Jones was right. So someone threw a 20 in it one time.
We also put money from the mail that someone would send into that jar too. We used to have mail.
I threw a hundo in it, just I think when he predicted the Russian invasion. All right, let's grab some more. What do we got here? Lava Bear says the greatest argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with the average voter. Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Seamus.
True monarch. I love
Freedom
loyalist
Tunes.
of the king.
Freedom Tunes is a great new video out. It's if Black Mirror was made in 1750, and it's just a guy sitting in front of a bunch of colonial-looking people with a drawing board, showing them modern America. He's like, in the future there will be tubes you can go in to travel at high speeds without a horse, and it's just a train. And then they're like, wow. And he's like, but there will be black men who will stab you, and they get away with it. And they're like, what? Nobody would tolerate that.
I don't
The Boring Company's doing cool things underground.
Dude, Boring Company can build canals.
Dude, that's incredible what they're
They're
doing in
boring.
Vegas. And just you need a Tesla, but it's incredible what they're doing.
All right, what is this? Wetopi says, Tim, ever heard the anime Speed Grapher? Here is my funny, kind of accurate description. James O'Keefe discovers underground Japanese Epstein Island, gets superpowers, saves young girl from the cult. I'll check it out, I guess. Speed Grapher?
Speed grapher. All right.
Indeed. All right, let's see. We'll grab a couple more here. Speed Bump says, Alex, did you bring any methylene blue for the crew to try? What is that?
I have no idea what
It's
methylene.
derived from a plant dye. It's this blue liquid that RFK was talking about. Chase Hughes talks about it, and people have been using it like a supplement. It's super dark blue. It'll turn your pee blue. Joe Rogan was using it. I tasted it. I bought a bottle and put it in my super salty. I dripped it on my tongue. Haven't really gone deep in it.
What's it supposed
Here,
to
it turns
do?
your brain blue.
Once used as to dye cotton and treat malaria, methylene blue is gaining attention for a variety of off-label uses. Learn where it started, how it works, and blah blah blah. Vibrant colored cobalt blue synthetic dye with a long history of highly specific medical applications treating malaria or a rare blood disorder called methemoglobinemia. For instance, methylene blue has some recognized medical uses. However, despite recent reports of off-label uses that have popped up in the news over the past few months, the only FDA-approved use for methylene blue is for the treatment of methemoglobinemia, a rare condition that restricts the ability of red blood cells to deliver oxygen throughout the body. So I imagine some people
JFK Jr.'s he's always promoting this.
Is he?
RFK Jr.
RFK Jr.
So I assume that the argument that they make is that it's got the ability to increase oxygen flow to the body.
And some people said that COVID, what it would do is it would make red blood cells, it would make it harder for them to transport oxygen. I think that's why it started to gain popularity.
They say nicotine's good for COVID as well.
Yeah, which is crazy, but
We have nicotine receptors in our body.
yeah.
All right, let's read this. We got
Yeah, we do.
Super Chat on YouTube. Mohav says, Tim, please explain again what happens to this country if Republicans get discouraged from voting in the midterms because of Iran and they don't win. Well, I got a nice little place off in El Salvador that we've been propping up now for a few months because come November 4th, we're getting ready to take a nice little convoy down and everyone's just going to live somewhere else. Just
Because
smart
of the
move.
danger
Just
from
TTFO.
Democrats.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because I was talking to my wife about this. I said, you realize there's an attorney general in Virginia who said that the children of his political opponents should be murdered and die in their arms to force them to change their political views. What does that mean for us? Because we're in a tri-state. Technically, it's a quad state because it's 40 minutes between PA and Virginia. It's like Maryland, West Virginia, PA, and Virginia, all right there. You can drive there in 40 minutes.
Criminal district
So
as well.
for the most part, Loudoun County is where we go for most amenities. So we're in West Virginia, but often if there's some kind of service we need, like Winchester, for instance, is, we're like 15, 20 minutes away from there. So for the most part, we do have a great, medical center. We do have great shops and everything in West Virginia. Some things you have to go to Virginia for. And then the concern is you've got an AG who wants to murder children.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He makes it very clear that he is not friendly to opposing political parties. And if you get pulled over and the police align with him politically, they're going to say something along the lines of, or they're likely to say something along the lines of, oh, we've got this reason to take you in or that reason to take you in. And so it's just, the situation is actually getting, dangerous for, at the very least, for high profile conservatives, even if it's not for everyday conservatives. But don't think that it means that like your run of the mill Republican is going to be insulated by the fact that they're not high profile. Like if the AG arrests a guy and he knows what that person's political affiliation is, or he finds out what their political affiliation is, he's definitely going to treat them differently than if he were to, if the state were prosecuting someone that was a Democrat or someone that didn't have political affiliations that he disapproves of. And he made that clear when he was running. So it's a real issue in the Virginia area. Like if you are in West Virginia, like the Martinsburg area, you're basically surrounded. It's like being in New England. Excuse me.
Man, Freeman asked, did Alex drive himself there? He did not, and the update now is that he is at home, safe, and comfortable. So It seems like everything's good. Everything is A-okay. We just wanted to make sure
Prayers and
good.
blessings go out to Alex. He's a great guy, and he's been through a lot. He's made us laugh over the years, and we just got to, cheer for him to be safe and come back strong.
Vitamin E 82 says, Tim, just north is a small town named Granbury. With a good skater, if you have an opportunity to take a little road trip before you leave Texas, a little 3-hour high north would really boost the morale. Maybe sell boonies. We are ill prepared for such a thing, but that would be fun. That would be fun indeed.
It's right over by Dallas.
Right over by Dallas, you say?
Yep.
And I think, isn't WinStar like the biggest casino in the world?
I think it was either that one or the one right across the border in Oklahoma.
That's WinStar.
Is it?
Yeah.
That one.
Or
is it Choctaw?
Man, dude, we've got Gen Z's got a gambling problem.
I
that's
didn't
for
get
sure.
a chance to ask Alex if he waned to play poker with us, unfortunately.
I did. He said
Anyone
yes.
got a chance to ask Alex anything.
I
He said
forced
yes.
quit gambling, man. It's so addictive. I was
So he did-
gambling.
so great. So-
spam coins, or what are they called? Garbage crypto coins for a while on
Shit coins?
pump.fun. Yeah, I lost money. I'm like, it was the camaraderie was fun and the excitement.
You could
of
do
pushing
your
the
own
button.
coin, Ian.
I know you could do, but it's just that. I know it's fun. I don't like gambling in games. I don't like gambling.
I think the issue is Gen Z is listless, purposeless, doesn't know how to save up, and can't buy a house. So if you're a young person and you're like, I made $400 this week, I have like $200 disposable income. How much money do I need to save to buy a house? It's like, okay, I'm gonna need $60,000. Well, I ain't getting there with $200 a week, that's for sure. So what do? They see these videos of people gambling, so they make these videos. I see them all over Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where they're like, I'm going to gamble my whole paycheck. And then they lose it, and they go, ah! And they crash out.
Terrible idea.
And they hope the ad revenue pays for the loss or something.
Or they win and then they celebrate. But
Well, there was one video where someone's like, I burned my whole paycheck, and I was going to leave, and then I had $20 left, and I was like, screw it, and I hit it, and I won $2,000. So shoot your shot. And that's the problem. The problem itself isn't gambling. There is a problem in the massive expansion and legalization of casinos literally everywhere. There's going to be 4 casinos in the DC metro. 4 in soon. So you got 3 already, and they're going to build another one in Tysons, which is like 20 minutes, 30 minutes west of DC. So you got MGM, Maryland Live, you got Horseshoe, Baltimore, and then you're going to have Tysons, where they're going to open a Caesars or something. 4. Now that's crazy, but somebody who goes on the weekends to hang out at the sports book, they have a drink with their buddies, and they maybe play $100, whatever, it's disposable income. That's always okay, right? That's totally fine. The problem is when young people have no light at the end of the tunnel, and even if they were to save all that money, they're still not going to buy a house. Their attitude is, screw it, who cares? And they're just lighting this money up. It is going to implode. It is going to. It's all going to explode.
They have no savings. They have no wealth. They're being obliterated every single day.
And they don't make enough money to get wealth.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be able to buy a house. Like, how are you gonna save up 30 grand? Like, let's say you want to buy a Bumpkinville home for 150K. You're not going to find a high paying job out in these areas either. So where we are in West Virginia, bungalows are $500,000 bungalow, and there's no jobs where we are. Like the jobs that are by us are like. What do we have? We have a big empty factory they're trying to lease out. There's an Amazon store, so they're making $20 an hour. So these people can barely afford to buy the houses in this area. Now, if you're a young person living in the DC metro with your family, and you're like, okay, I'm 18, I'm going to get a job and move out, there's no way you are going to save up. You need $100 grand to buy one of those houses. Insane. And there's no jobs out there. It's not happening. It's just not going to happen. So these young people are just lighting their money on fire because they're like, I don't know, what's the point? There's no saving. There's no saving. So... Man, I
prefer the stock market.
What?
Personally, I prefer the stock market to the
stock
gambling
market's
casino.
not gambling, though.
It's all a Ponzi scheme.
I think poker
but it's still a risk.
is amazing.
Risk is not gambling. So
I agree.
here's the thing to understand. Gambling is you and I flip a coin, and we're going to into the air, whatever it lands on. If it lands on heads, I win all the money. If it lands on tails, you win all the money. That's gambling. The stock market is like, hey, I've been tracking this company, and I can see that there's a major interest in purchasing, these new fancy tires for cars. This company makes it. Or graphene, for instance. They just announced in the news there's a great new breakthrough in graphene. They're going to integrate it in car batteries. I'm going to buy companies that I'm going to invest in these companies that make the graphene batteries, and then you make money back from it. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. It's speculation, but it's not gambling.
Yeah. So
going to a casino and being like, I'm putting my whole paycheck on craps, and then you lose everything. That's gambling.
So if you're feeling listless, educate yourself on the stock market and the way it works.
I think the issue for a lot of people is just if you're clearing a couple $100 take home disposable, what are you doing with it anyway? Mm-hmm. And then you have no leisure, you have no savings, you have no health care. This system is impossible. It's just literally impossible. And then the healthcare system on top of it is just impossible. You get sick, and then it's like, you have insurance? Yes. Okay, that'll be $2 grand. Okay, what if I didn't have insurance? It'd be $300. Mm-hmm. Do you guys see that viral video from like a year ago where this guy, he calls up the hospital and he's like, how much do I owe you for the bill? And they're like, it's $1,500. And he's like, and what if I don't have insurance? And they're like, it's $300. And he goes, okay, I'll opt to not have the insurance. And they go, I'm sorry, sir, you can't do that. You have insurance. So because he had insurance, he had to pay a $1,500 deductible. But if he was uninsured, it would have only been $300. Everything is broken. Everything's broken.
The ACA was such a lie, and it had destroyed so many people's savings and stuff. The ACA was one of the worst pieces of legislation ever passed.
And the doctors are giving the wrong information at hospitals. My mom was in the hospital. One place said she needed surgery. Then I took her out of there. She didn't need one at the next one. They tried to give her remdesivir, which is a medication that is very controversial. It's a lot of fatalities. Instead of giving intravenous IVs,
they pulled that, right? It's gone now. Remdesivir.
Yeah, they tried to give it to my mom. I'm like, you're not going to kill my mom. Is it Cedars-Sinai in LA? And they're like, who told you this? Who told you this? And I was like, you're not going to kill my mom.
Nut.
Yeah, and I literally prevented it for her from doing it. They're not giving intravenous vitamin C. They're not doing ivermectin. They're not doing ozone therapy. A lot of these things are really good for you. They don't want to give the doctors the leeway to do it. They won't cover it.
Well, I will say this is all things. As to like the ozone stuff and all of that, those are regulated and standard practice in a lot of countries.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do, what's good or bad for them. What I can say is remdesivir was pulled. It was recalled.
Yeah. And they tried to give it to my mom 2 years ago at Cedars-Sinai, and thank God I was there. I was sleeping with the dog at the house, and I came in.
Trump took it.
Gave it to her.
Trump took remdesivir.
Well, we don't know if he really took it.
Well, it is reported that Trump did it.
Yeah.
And now when you look it up, it says, what is this? From the FDA, Gilead issues voluntary nationwide recall of remdesivir due to the presence of glass particle. Wow.
Good Lord.
Why are they not giving high-dose vitamin C and organic food to people in the hospital?
Yeah, the food in the hospitals should be.
The salads are all sugar.
I mean, and this is crazy because this is 2020. The World Health Organization suspended remdesivir from its list of medicines. So if the World Health Organization says it, you know it's true. Let's grab some more super chats here. We got Mike Jamison. Might as well send a donation before the show's pulled. Probably having a good time. So what happened was the reason why the show started with Alex screaming about Joe Rogan is that we mentioned that viral clip he has where he said that Trump was getting gangbanged by Lindsey Graham, and he started laughing and then immediately tried to one-up that with an even more absurd, but, you know.
Out of context, you just saw him come in hot.
Yeah. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? Not a bot says, I am a gorilla. Indeed, the gorilla is right
When
there.
do we think, do you think Lindsay will ever come out of the closet?
No.
No. Not willingly.
Yeah.
Might he be brought out of the closet by another? I don't know.
That one guy, you saw the guy confront him on, it was just came out.
You know, I'm not going to keep joking about him being gay because I really don't know if he's gay. And what if he turns out that
he's
he's like
just a 60-year-old bachelor.
Yeah, maybe he's got like 5 women.
How old is he?
Dude, he's got to be
like
over.
60.
He's over 60.
Yeah.
He's definitely gay, but allegedly. But what I can tell you is that, you know,
He's,
there's a lot of videos of him.
He's
Probably.
70.
He's 70. Okay.
He's a 70-year-old bachelor?
Yeah. Well.
Really?
Never married, no kids.
Wow.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Never married, no kids.
So actually, I'd argue he's not gay because he's old and probably just that's like, you know, he's well past those years. You know what I mean?
Just low T.
Well, he's an old man.
Being gay is,
Yeah, but I mean,
you know,
like,
embrace
being
it.
gay is a
Don't
lifetime
hide
thing.
it.
Maybe he's androgynous.
you hear a lot of you know, people like what was his name?
Lindsay, if
Never
you're
mind.
watching, come
Yeah,
out,
it says
come out today.
no, Lindsey Graham is not married and has never been married. He's a bachelor, which is relatively rare in U.S. politics.
Yeah.
Throughout his career, he has addressed questions about being single, emphasizing it does not affect his ability to lead or present his constituents.
How does he keep winning? Is what I want. Who's voting for him? I've never met anyone who supports him.
Incumbents have such a massive advantage.
So
They
where?
really
So
do.
what? If we, how
Don't
many
look him up
times-
with ladybugs.
How many
Don't
times
do
has
that.
he won re-election?
Laura
not sure.
Loomer said that Trump staff told her that Lindsey Graham is gay.
Ooh, Laura. Paul Danz is running against him right now. We
Well,
could
you know, we
really
all
support
hope-
Paul Danz. I'd like to
Is
see
Is he
there
a Republican or a Democrat?
Has anyone in the chat ever voted for Lindsey Graham? Please
Oh,
write.
they actually still do give remdesivir. It's
So-
just there are some, like, who pulled it from their list of medicines, so I believe it is still available. I'll just say it like this, as we often say with everything. Don't take medical advice from podcasters. We don't know what we're talking about. Like, I just found out that it wasn't, that it is still available. I thought it was pulled.
Yeah.
That was wrong. So I just recommend you get a good doctor. But we are going to go to the uncensored portion of the show. So smash the like button, share the show with everyone in your life. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. That uncensored show will be at rumble.com/Timcast IRL. Don't miss it. Luke, do you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, youtube.com/wearechange. I really do believe all of us are probably going to be censored soon. So lukeunfiltered.com, that's where I have my group. I have my Discord. I'm going to do a special video about how to prepare for all the madness coming. And you can get the shirt that I'm wearing there now just by becoming a member. lukeunfiltered.com. Thank you so much for signing up. It means a lot.
At Ian Crossan, you'll find me. And if you really know my personality, you know I've been self-censoring the entire time I've been on this show. I agree with you, Luke. This machine is nasty and it moves fast. So let's build some open source resilient software to play this game under the radar while it changes. And then maybe in the future we can wake up and wake everybody else up with us. Go to graphene.movie. You'll
good
never
thing-
regret it.
It's a good thing Robbie was here.
Robbie Man.
Robbie Man, I mean, look, I'm looking forward to seeing Ian's movie. I'm sad about Alex leaving. He's a good guy. Let's have our prayers out there. You can find me on the Robbie Man, ROBBIE, on YouTube and Twitter, and Robbie Man on Instagram. And I'm with, I'm a huge groupie of this guy right here, Phil.
Don't put the camera on me. What are you
Gonna
talking about?
I'm going to be throwing my
Literally.
boxers on stage for him. I hope he's okay with that.
I have security that's going to remove Robbie. I am Phil That Remains on Twix. If you want to hear more of my thoughts and stuff, you can check out my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Phil That Remains. The band is All That Remains. We're going on tour this spring with Dead Eyes and with Born of Osiris. Don't touch that. We're going to be on tour from April
playing
until no. We're going on tour from April 29th until the end of May. If you want to check out All That Remains, or if you want to get tickets, it's at allthatremainsonline.com, and you can check out the band's music on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, YouTube, Spotify, and Deezer. Don't forget the left lane is for Crime Carter.
I'm Carter
You guys playing New
Banks
York
here,
City?
pressing the buttons.
LA?
And what's up, Robbie?
I want to see the cities.
Yeah, Carter Banks here. Send me your compliments or concerns. If you want me to do anything differently on the show, at Carter Banks on Twitter. Follow our label at Trash House Records on YouTube. And hope Alex is doing well. Let's go to the after show.
Let's get it. Head over to rumble.com/Timcast IRL, and we'll see you in about 30 seconds.